Well, hello and happy Sunday, all. How art thou? How we do? How many drops are there? Technically speaking, two, because there's a animated and static version of said drop. Yeah. Welcome in, friends. Juju, hello. What's up, Link? Raindrops, good to see you. What's up, Moonster? How we doing, friends? Night, hello. Love the title. Thank you. Thank you. To be fair, it's a great question. Can he? I don't know. Hockey, hello. What's up, Zapini? Good to see you, friends. Hello. Oh my. Lost some of your previous badges. That's okay. It's going to be fixed next week. Yeah, I don't know what day it'll be fixed, but hopefully soon. But yeah, of course. It's a Sunday, so of course we're playing with Doc today. But yeah, question of the day. Can he keep me alive? What are my thoughts on realistic neck movements? Not really a top of the list concern for me for the game yet. Yeah. That'd be like, what are our thoughts on realistic wrist movements? Ankle turning, shoe bending. Yeah. If they want to go down that road eventually, sure. I guess the real question is, are we planning on using Doc as bait? No, absolutely not. No, that's not the way in which I want him to keep me alive. I want him to keep me alive because he is just that good that he can keep us both alive. That's the way this needs to go. Okay. This is not my playlist. Overall normal joint movement is better. There you go. That's a much better question. Yeah, for sure. How do we feel about eyelid shutters? What's up, Joel? How are you? Good to see you. Over under 3 blood moons? I'm going to say 1. I bet we get 1 today. That's my guess. Pizza, thank you so much for the gifted, dude. Thank you for the sub. And Storm, thank you for the 2 months. Kay, thank you for the prime. My eye, I feel like I got something in it. I don't know what it is, but we're going to figure it out. Juju, thank you for the biddies, friends. Friends. Want to say the Patreon games yesterday were so much fun. Had an absolute blast, except dying to the Dio, admitting to the well, okay, let's be fair. So to be fair, I wanted to make it a little spicy, so I started the music box. But I allowed so much time for you guys to leave the room. In my defense on that part of it. So, but the odds of it being a Dio was crazy. Do you prefer the old bending at the hips or now your neck moving? I don't care either way. Can't say that's been living up there that much. If you're asking me, do I prefer the old player models or the new? The new. I just want them improved. I get it. We all love the idea of them bending at the back and looking stupid, and it was hilarious, and we loved it to death. I'm fine with the new player models. I don't care. I want the game to feel good. Yeah. Can Doc keep me alive? I have all the faith in him. If you get got by the ghost, that's totally a you thing and not a Doc thing. Okay. We'll see. Crazy. Thank you for the biddies. Percy, thank you for the 37 months. Wow. Wow. Ray-Ban, thank you for the biddies. Thank you all for the follows. Waggy, thank you for the 9 months. Happy I did well yesterday with the games. Listen, everybody did really well. We had a blast. It was fun. PB, thank you so P Broski, thank you for the sub, dude. Welcome in. You'll be fine. Oh, I almost forgot to mention. So you remember how we had that discussion about the goal for the month possibly changing? I now understand why. I don't know if anybody has noticed what's sitting on top of my fridge by chance. It'll be a Doc thing. Okay. Roger that. Noted. Duly. Callie, thank you for the biddies. Bubblegum, thank you for the 11 months. Hello. Chat's blocking it. Allow me to bring it into frame. So, of course, I go to the P.O. box. And what do I find inside of said box? It's a cow onesie. So that is the new extended goal. If we reach it this month, I will play Funnel Runners dressed as a cow, and I will change all of my alerts to be cow related. We'll let that we'll let that live there. Ay, ay, ay. Hi, Carumba. How to get the Twitch Fast thing? I don't know how it works. So all you have to do is watch the stream. If you are not worried about the animated badge, then you can watch anybody that's playing Phasmo. It doesn't matter. If you are looking for the animated drop, you can get the animated and the static here at the same time because I'm a Kinetic partner. So any Kinetic partner stream, you can earn both at the same time. 2 hours watch time. Yep. And then if you do exclamation point drops, there is a link within that will teach you how to do it. What's the drop? I'll show you when we switch scenes. Did I just join in time to see a cow outfit put away? That's correct. We got cows. Mark, hello. Oh man, that's good stuff. Let's open Phasmo. We'll get ready for Mr. Dockerton, so he can keep us alive today. That's the mish. Another cow. What's up, Ash? How are you? Cow fit? How dare you? Noob, thank you for the gifted to link, dude. No pressure for Doc? No. He probably is not aware of this yet, but he'll figure it out.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
You think you'll survive with him being under so much pressure to keep you alive? My only fear is that he's going to throw himself at the ghost to try to succeed in that mission. Hey, what's up, Blue Hawk? I don't think you have enough underscores. You need to really work on that. Pump up your numbers, man. There's only like 17 of them there. I expect at least 18. Hi, Carumba. Hi, Carumba. Advice for streaming. Yeah, don't be afraid to stream. Go live. Don't be afraid of it being perfect. It will never be perfect. Just go live. Go live. The more you, I don't want to say the more you stream, the better you'll get, because that's not necessarily true. But the more experience you have, the better the chances are at you being successful. Especially when it comes to problems. I think one of the biggest things that people run into is that they feel defeated when they can't figure something out. The longer you have streamed for, the more problems you've run into, and the more you've learned how to figure them out quickly, in a manner of speaking. If you are looking to stream for fun, I would not sweat it. If you are looking to stream for fun / growth, as in you are like, no, content creation is what I want to do, you need to be posting on other platforms. If you are just streaming, you're not doing enough. Not doing enough to get recognized, because Twitch does not have discoverability unless you are literally on the top of the category. That's who gets discovered. If you're on top of the category, you're the one that people sees. You're the one that people sees. You are the one that people see. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Terry, hello. Welcome in. Simplex, hello. Sharing your screen for playing games or whatever is perfect enough for streaming, for sure. There are plenty of people that are successful that don't even use face cams. One of the more important things, in my opinion, is your audio. You sounding good is way more important than you looking good. Use a trash webcam and get great audio. You don't have to spend like $1,000 to get great audio either. You could spend $100. Like I used to use a Blue Yeti for the longest time, and it was perfectly fine. There's filters you can put on it. There's all kinds of stuff you can do to make yourself sound pretty good. But make sure you're listening to yourself. Make sure you're watching your streams back. Do you feel bored watching your own stream? Because if you're bored, you need to think of what it's like as a viewer. They're probably bored. So I'm not saying you have to be some crazy, over-exaggerated, nonstop screaming person, because that I don't like to watch. That's annoying as shit. I turn that off immediately. But you do need to keep the entertainment there, because if you're watching a TV show and there's just people just sitting here for 5 minutes, are you keeping that channel on? Probably not. Yeah. Critter, hi friend. Taco bro, thank you for the 9 months, man. Thank you so much for the prime. Hello. Shadow Kitten, thank you. Blackluster. Spooky Queen, thank you for the biddies. Do you enjoy reading? Not really. I wish I did. I found a True Encounter Ghost book with 100+ stories from 1997. I think you might appreciate. Ooh, shorter stories maybe. For me, it's attention span. My attention span is trash. That's my problem. As a professional video editor, cinematographer, my attention span when it comes to reading is awful. I wish it was better. You and your friends are doing APOC 3. Any tips? Watch Nuka Dave, Nukadave. He will give you plenty of advice with APOC 3, way more than I could ever give you. Yep. Be patient. Get all your items to the door before you go inside. Have your smudges at the ready. Understand what 150 ghosts sound like. I have not seen Odyssey. I've heard good things though. You just get bored easily. Yeah, I wish I liked it as much as my wife does. My wife loves reading. Yeah. Angelo, thank you for the follow. Step, welcome in. Step Sarge, hello. Plays, welcome in. All right. We'll just walk around the lobby for. Oh, Doc's actually finishing. Don't read much. I don't either. No. He's ready soon. Thank you, Joe. Bloops, I'm good. How are you? I like reading, but I have to be in the mood to read. For me, I remember in college, one thing that really, really helped me with reading was listening to music. Listening to music really helped me focus on the reading, because normally I would be reading and it would just go in and straight back out. But I remember that's when I started getting into Max Richter, who is an amazing artist, has amazing music. I would listen to his pieces while reading, and it really helped me focus. You join or he join? I'm level 81. He could join me. Yeah, I don't remember what I just read either. I know I'm the same way, man. I wish I wasn't. Derpin, thank you for the 4 months. Kiwi, oh, hey, how are you? Yeah, here, role play, of course. It's with Doc. Audiobooks are good. 61, I got it. I've got the lanterns unlocked and stuff. It'll be a little bit nicer. I got it. Mr. Dockerton is welcome to join in, obviously, whenever he's ready. Your school librarian got you into reading. That's cool. That's rad. Our school librarian was awesome. They were so great. Urza, what's up? So freaking nice. Altering his character? All good. He could take his time. There's no rush. Hey, what up, Joey? How are you, man? Welcome back, friend. Watching the videos for a few months. Finally got to see the stream. Welcome in. I was going to post a video today, and I did not because I was hanging with kiddos and doing all the stuff. Didn't have time to work on it. Didn't have time. I'll try to get one posted for tomorrow, though. How far are you away from the 50th of Willow? Oh, we already have it. Yeah. Family over content. Wow, dude. I could have done it late. I was just tired. I can't. I was just tired. Father was a big reader. I never saw him without a book. See, that's pretty odd. That's a great tone to set for the family. Yeah. My 6-year-old daughter loves watching the YouTube videos in the morning. Oh my God. You got a 6-year-old watching me? What the hell? What helped me with reading was actively imagining, forcing myself to process, to think about what happened next with every single paragraph. Yeah, I mean, the sense of having imagination is really, really helpful with reading.
Oh, hey, guy.
Hey. Nice jacket.
I couldn't see you at first.
All right, yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Thanks. I want you to be able to see me. And I think this outfit accomplishes that.
I think we need to put we need to like funnel runners this and put some like reflective material on these so that way we can see each other from a distance.
Well, wait.
Like in the dark though. In the dark. We can't test that here.
Can you still see me over here?
Yes, I can.
All right, nice. How about over here?
Same thing. Go a little further.
What if I duck?
No, go further.
Me?
Go further.
What?
Go in the truck. No, in the truck.
Surprise! I was there the whole time.
Wow, I had no idea. Got me so good.
Yeah, so what are we thinking today there, FlashForce? I don't have anything like particularly special going on. My tummy's a little rumbly today, so I'm not sure I'm going to be hot saucing anything.
No hot saucing?
Unless,
Okay.
I intend to. Unless I intend to hot sauce the toilet later, which I would rather not do, if you know what I'm saying. Don't slow turn on. You're slow turning it.
Get out of here. Get
Go
out.
ahead.
Get out of
Go ahead. Try to slow
Get
turn.
here.
Try to slow
What
turn.
what did we call it? What did we call it the last time we played? No, we had a name for that. I don't remember it. I don't remember
it. Wasn't.
it.
It wasn't the knot challenge. It was
No. I'm talking about the the runs. I don't remember what we called it.
The runs.
Yes, we had a name. There was a name for it. Damn it.
Brownie frownies?
No, not brownie frownies. We literally came up with it the last time we played. I don't know.
I
I'll
don't
remember.
know.
Hi, Roxy.
I can't think of anything.
Does
anyone remember? Chat, do you remember what we called things?
He said about spice in the toilet, so I was trying to remember what we called it.
Folks, what do you call spice? Or never mind. Colon cleanse? I don't know that it was colon cleanse.
That's definitely not it. No, that's not it. Out of 10, how do you rate Willow? I'd say 9. Yeah. I don't.
Oopsie poopsies? Oopsie poopsies and the brownie frownies? No.
No, but somebody did say, is it blasters? Nope, that's not it either.
That was my nickname. And no,
oh my God.
Anyway.
So I do want to give you a heads up that my title does set the tone for the day, though. I can tell you what it is.
Yeah, well, I will be honest. Chat may have told me about the title already, and I got to admit,
it's curiosity.
I'm confused.
No. It's curiosity. You know, it's a question that I think we all want to know. You know, can Doc keep Flash alive? Battleship.
Yeah, is it rhetorical? It seems like it's rhetorical to me.
No. It's more. It's like a poll almost, like like polling the audience kind of thing. Like we asked 100 audience members, can he keep him alive?
Audience members resoundingly said, probably not. So wait, is there some sort of plan associated with this, or is it just, you can't die?
With any of the games that we are playing today, just are you going to keep me alive? I'm not going to go out of the way. I'm not going to go out of the way to purposely try to get myself gopped. But you do need to keep me alive, though.
Not a problem. I am willing to dive in front of any ghost to save your life.
No, you have no. You are not successful unless we both make it out.
Well, then the stream type say something
Can Doc keep us alive? Yeah, that's. Oh, you know what? That's better. I like it.
Okay. All right. So what map are you thinking to start with? What map seems like it's going to be the easiest map for both of us to live on?
The lobby.
All right. Well, here we go. Let's start stream.
Here we go.
Wait, no. Don't. Those stairs are dangerous. Don't walk up those stairs.
Oh,
they're not up to code. They're not. Hold on. Stand right there. All right.
I got my tetanus shot in '86. That should be all right.
Look out! Bees!
Bees! They're ripping our face off. All right, I say we start at Willow and then we go from there. We'll start with Nightmare. If we decide to spice it up, we could spice it up.
All right.
The stairs never up to anything good. I hate it here so much. Spice is nice, except for you don't want any because it could cause the... Imagine there was a blood moon with Doc. Okay, it's not. I think we're going to get one blood moon today. I think we're going to get one. Yeah. Edgy, think of the 3 months. Sovereign, think of the 5 months. Easy Wills, think of the 33. Batman.
This is a really tough one.
Are there any ghosts that can turn on power? All of them except for the Hantu. No, not a blood moon.
That goes through the senses while chasing someone to prevent the ghost from running with a crucifix.
I can't roll my R's. I can't.
No, that's why I'm doing it.
So you do it.
What? Flash? But don't you?
Yeah. You deserve every inch of what just happened to you.
Just dodge my booking?
I
did. Why would you dodge a booking?
That's what you get. What you get.
Reading is good.
Reading is good. Making fun of people that can't roll their R's is not. Book is much faster now.
Listen, I'm not making fun of you because you can't roll your R's, FlashForce.
Oh, okay. I won't make fun of you for not being able to stay alive.
The title of stream was Keep FlashForce Alive. It wasn't.
No, it was changed to Keep Us Alive.
Oh. Does that count if you try to kill me?
How about this? I am not going to purposefully try, okay? We're not going to do that. I'm not doing that to you. No, no. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. No, no. No, no. Ooh. Doc, 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 doc. I think the ghostie's here. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? It's not Mario. What? That's not. Where are you? Are you here?
Right here.
Where are you? Are you here? Are you Doc? Are you friendly? Ah! Whoa! It hates it. Wait, did you say 0.5?
5.5.
Oh, okay.
I may have done something with push to talk there.
No, you're okay.
Magical.
All right. Spear box.
Spear box confirmed.
Spitted box. I don't trust this hiding, Doc. Hey, if this is ever open until they update, do not hide here. Do not.
It won't even open. Wait, can I squeeze in through this?
No, it's locked. It's obviously locked right now. I mean, when it's open, don't hide in it. Don't. It's not good. Stop.
Hold on. Just back my way. I'm just gonna back in. Well, apparently there's a little too much dump in this truck to get inside this closet. That's all right.
Here, I'll bring him the Switch to play with. Bold of you to assume he's listening. That's a good point. That's a very, very good point. All right, there you go. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Is Click your favorite game? No, 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 no. I think that's the name of the console. Yeah, Blitz. Hello, welcome in. Play Nintendo. Yeah, this isn't a Nintendo. This is a. It's not an NES. It's like a. You can see it downstairs. You see it downstairs. I think it's a VES is what they call it. You stole the Switch? No, we borrowed it. We borrowed it. Yeah, VES. There you go. Yeah, Virtual Entertainment System. Oh, I don't know. It threw something. I don't know.
Yeah, it threw a thing.
It threw a thing. Throw it back. Tell that jerk. Ooh.
Hey.
Hey.
You know what? If we're throwing things, hold on. I'll be right back.
All right. I bet one coin. You get one coin. Wait, what coin? All right.
All right, this ghost wants to throw things, huh?
You can't do it. There you go. Yeah.
That was actually really hard to do.
You couldn't do it. All right, let's see if it does it. Oh, or throws the key.
Holy crap! Did it just throw a hammer at us? Oh no,
and it threw the camera. Absolute jerkhole.
Wow.
Tio, think of it as 6 months. Blackluster, think of it as biddies, man. What's up, Angel? Listen here, cornhole. Oh shit, it walked in that salt. I wasn't paying attention. Man, I was too worried about the bouncy ball. It. All right, well, I might go get more salt, unless it's touch stuff.
I'm not seeing any footy footprints.
Footy. Okay. Possible freezings? Why don't you hide in the pantry? Oh, hey, guess what?
We have orbs.
It's
orbs.
Wait, excuse me? Oh my God, I hate you.
Yeah. Orbs! Flash!
It took me a second to realize what
Flash,
you
we
were
got
doing.
orbs!
We got
Orbs!
big old orbs.
What are you doing with my orb?
We do have freezing, by the way.
Roger that.
Why can't you add it on YouTube? I'm fairly certain it is added to YouTube. It's just that where do I put it?
But we do not actually have orbs. I thought
No, I
I
don't
just
think
said
so.
it too many times. Now it's in my head.
No, I don't think so. So it's probably twins on Rio or Moroi. I'd say so. It's a huge.
We're not
remix.
seeing actual orbs. We only see that one gigantic blue orb.
It's like, what if the bigger the orb, the bigger the ghost, and what did he say? I don't know. I don't know. You can't keep me alive if you're dead, Doc. This is not how this is supposed to go. Oh, hey, packet. All right, so definitely faster. He sacrificed himself. I'm fairly certain he didn't sacrifice himself. I don't think that was the intention of what he just did. Okay, so that's either the Moroi or the twins. I don't know which one. All right, I'm gonna get a couple smudges so we can get one more hunt, and then well, I guess I'll get 3 smudges, and we'll figure it out from there. What is the curse? I don't know. I didn't even see. We didn't even look. I heard the ghost through the parabolic really early, so I knew where it was, so we immediately went downstairs. Twin curve in the radar. We don't have it. And also, being able to recognize that twin curve these days is really difficult. I wouldn't bank on it, because the curve that you think you're seeing that might be twins, it could just be normal interactions. Hard to say. I might be cursed, but I don't know, because I don't have access to my sanity. So I don't know. Could be. I'm gonna let it hunt me one more time, like this. That's a Moroi, right? Sounds too fast for twins. That's a lot of upchuckery, though. That's way too fast for twins. You and Doc are my favorite duo. Have you two ever met in person? We still have yet to meet in person. How can you tell you're cursed? You can tell you're cursed if you're able to see your sanity. Yeah. Unfortunately, with that hunt, I didn't smudge early. Okay, I'm a liar. I'm going to do one more. The way you're able to tell is if you get either a spirit box response, a parabolic response, or you get something on the sound recorder from the ghost, then if you're cursed, go turn the lights on in a room and stand in that room. Check your watch. If your sanity's going down while the room lights are on, it's a Moroi and you're cursed, because the lights don't stop the passive sanity drain when you're cursed by the Moroi. Wait a minute. Damn it. I wonder if it's cards. Because if it is, I could maybe bring Mr. Dockerton back. No mirror. It's... Frank? No, it's not the monkey paw. It's either the Ouija board or the cards. Allergen, what up, friendo? We did check for orbs multiple times. I can check one more time before we leave, but this ghost has been acting the same the entire time. So I think the odds of this being a mimic are very, very low. What a hooker. Can't you also tell if it's a Moroi from how long it's smudged? Correct. The problem was that when I smudged it there at the end, the hunt ended before I could tell. No, the cards aren't in the living room anymore. No, they're downstairs. I know where the cards are. I'm aware. Did that seem like a long smudge? It kind of didn't. Didn't seem like it. I don't think so either. Twins? I think it would be way faster if it was a Moroi. I think we have twins. I'm bringing you back, damn it. Although I didn't hear I have yet to hear the slow one though. Come on, High Priestess. Shamo. Bring my man's back. Bring my man's back. Shamo. Oh, God, dang it. Oh, ghost fart. That's right. That means the ghost is still downstairs. Taking a nap. Or I did get sanity back. Oh, what? Yeah, what? You better walk on, hard ass. That's got to be twin speed. It has to be. All right, Doc. Shamo. Well, I'm sorry, friend. I do miss you. Here. Take that. He threw the ball at me. Oh my God. Can you keep you alive? It's hard to say at this point. As of right now, I guess so. Well, if it's a Moroi, then I am fueled because that smudge did not sound very long. That sounded like a normal smudge. Hey, nice orbs. I'm going twins, Mr. Doc. What ghost have I not gotten yet? Well, I do have like 4,000 hours in this game, so I've gotten all of them. Yeah.
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
Had to make sure.
Yeah. Hey, any chance you wanna change the title of your streaming end? Something else? And first round and we're done already. Well, although I do need to. What happened was okay. Hear me out.
Please go ahead.
All right.
Go on.
Yeah. So the ghost started hunting, and immediately you kind of went. And I was like, okay, well, Flash knows where the hiding spots are. I never keep track of that stuff because I'm an idiot. So I'm just going to follow Flash. You went into the shower, and you ever see videos that are kind of hysterical of little kids running into the sliding glass door?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm guessing you ran into the glass door.
Into the closed portion. Yeah, I was like, and then I was killed. So,
To be fair, with the title, I mean, it's not like it doesn't say Doc better keep us alive or anything. It's just a question. Can he keep us alive? Obviously, the answer to that round was not everybody. And then, you know, next round there's always a possibility.
but the title is supposed to like build suspense for the larger series. This wasn't even a mini series. This wasn't even a full episode.
This wasn't even a pilot. What was this?
Wasn't even a commercial. Crap.
All right. Well, you get to choose the next map, and then I'll choose the one after that. We'll keep it easy.
Okay. Well, I'll
What's
tell
up,
you
Landon?
what.
How are you? Thoughts on New Ghost? It's great.
When I die on Tanglewood, when I die on Willow Street.
Okay.
What maps are these? I always go to Nell's right afterward.
All right. That makes sense. A nice and cheese to heal the wounds.
And cheese. Let's
All
go.
right. All right. Disable your equipment if you don't mind. Just disable your equipment.
What's wrong with my? Oh! I get this really cool view of my new jacket. All right.
All right, let's go. Well, that way you know
Disable?
that way if I get got, then I lose the stuff, not you.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I do have.
Don't mean to brag.
I've got 4.
All right, we're here. Take a look at the equipment.
Nope.
and prepare
No
accordingly
moons,
before
just
starting the
snowing.
investigation. No
If they
reports
approach you
of
for the live action movie, would you accept or turn it down? Faz? I hope they don't go to any content creators. Yes. You're not talking in game.
Oh,
Now you are.
hello?
Hi.
I said don't pull any of your kinetic partner blood moon on me, my friend.
I pulled zero. Absolutely zero. Bull. None. Nilch. Nada. You wouldn't even want to be, I don't want any content creators associated with it because
that's
if
okay.
shit
I
goes
trust
down,
you.
Then they're associated with the movie forever. No, it's like when you're working with big business. Like,
here we go.
You typically
Oh,
don't
rude.
include too many actual employees because then shit goes down. And then you have
Case
to change the commercial.
1054. Bruce Elliot. Prevent the ghost running with the crucifix. Have a member of your team escape the ghost or witness the ghost event. I could do a video of the ghost. What are you doing back there?
Okay. I didn't want to have to do this, but I missed. Hold on. There we go.
It's way too far for a booking. No.
Why are you so good at beatboxing?
Not that good.
You're pretty good. Whoa! Oh my God! I saw the ground and I
No,
was like, "It's a
I
blood
know.
moon out
It's
there."
always deceiving. I know. The sign does
Yeah.
it. Thank you, Brandon. Flash would be in a movie. Would have to be a video store clerk from the 90s. Hell yeah. Let's go. I'm down. Like, do a 90s ghost movie sort of thing. Dude, I'll be in there. Crucifix, event, and video of the ghost. I'm going to bring a video camera. Yeah, let's do that. We'll go flashlight, video camera, and a... Let's go dots. I like it. Let's do it. Beatboxing's tough, bruh. It sure is, bruh. Oh, shit. Almost forgot. There we go. Like an 80s ghost? Oh, let's go. Let's do
They're
this.
hiring. Yeah, they're hiring.
Oh. For which position?
I don't know.
Hey, guess what?
EMF5!
We have orbs here too. Did you get EMF 5?
I'm pretty sure that was EMF5. It
Okay.
sounded like an EMF5.
All right. Well, that's EMF 5 and orbs.
Look at that. Well, we can go. All right.
All right.
Hey!
Let's get out of here. Well, we know it's not an Obake. It's either a Diane or a Raiju. Ruth. Oh my God. We almost were immediately able to say what the ghost was. Oh. Stop. If this was a male ghost, we could have immediately said this was a Raiju and left.
Speed run. Speed run. We're professionals.
Oh my God. How do you know it's not an obake? Because we're playing on Nightmare, so there's forced evidence that has to happen with certain ghosts. The obake has UV. If you can get evidence, the obake has UV. Double check. We will double check the EMF5. Sometimes it can happen quickly, or you think it sounds like it.
Ghost event, capture a video of the ghost. Okay, these dots. I feel like I'm having a migraine.
You feel like you're having a migraine. What do you mean?
Because all I'm seeing is like these dots like moving up and down the wall.
There's no
Do you
dots.
get migraines?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, because okay. Do you get like the ocular migraines, or do you get like just the pain migraines?
I get the pain. I don't get any sort of like aura. I don't get any sort of vision things to happen. It's just straight up pain, like a hammer to the head kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yep.
I get the ocular ones. I get the ones where like if I'm looking at you, half of your face will disappear and
yeah, I
letters
do not get
disappear
that.
off the page.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Everyone gets
not
migraines
fun.
sometimes. That's not true. That's false. There are
I
people
mean,
that have never had a
unless that's
headache
your
in their
thing.
life.
Like
Yeah,
I would really like to think
I've had
I am
awful migraines ever since I was a
having
child.
an
It's just
aneurysm.
became a part of my life.
Ocular migraines suck. They do.
Yeah, cluster migraines, you name it. All the things and all the stuff. Yeah, I've had the ones where like they made you want to puke. I've had the ones where I had to pace around my house for multiple hours to try to avoid the pain. All the stuff. I've been to a neurologist multiple times. I do take medicine, so it's way better. Hey, what are you drinking?
Ocular migraines,
Ah,
there's
Cosmic
cluster
Cola.
migraines.
The EMF5, 100%.
There's oat grains, wheat grains,
Okay, listen, Forrest Gump. Relax
and
yourself.
grains.
Grain stew, grain salad, grain and potatoes. I think that's about it.
That's pretty much it.
Where is the other crucifix fix, sir?
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dane.
They got magic legs.
Know that.
Okay, we have the one crucifix here. Where's the second? Oh, okay. Well, placing that out and about will definitely be more handy than your pocket.
Says you. Okay.
Okay, yes, Sesame. Why?
Sesame.
That's me. Oh, it's trying to steal from the cash register. I get 12 migraines, had medicine for it, but sadly only felt worse than the medicine. Can I please give you a suggestion? And by no means, I'm not a medical professional. Anything that I ever speak about is ever just my experiences and things I've been through. I highly suggest you always go to a doctor if you need advice.
You really look like you're flexing at the beach when you got the camera up like that.
Man, hey, which way is the camera? Is it that way? My suggestion to you would be to continue going to the neurologist. If you've been to one and it didn't work because they gave you medicine that didn't work, keep going and try others. I had an issue where what are you?
Oh.
Oh, I thought it was hunting.
Yeah.
Why is FlashForce 24/7 always on?
You must answer me these questions 3. Ere the other side ye see. What is your name?
Steve.
What is your quest?
And cheese.
What is your favorite color?
Turquoise.
Extra junk. You did it.
What'd you say about my junk?
I didn't say anything about your junk, actually.
Okay. Just double checking. Thank you. Junk.
My junk.
My junk.
My junk.
Yes, it is. The FlashForce 24/7 channel is always on because it is my.
No, I'm not making a My Junk song. That's not happening.
Because it is a 24/7 channel, which is to refer to
My junk.
the number of hours
My junk.
in a day, followed by the number of days in a week. Oh, the sound disappeared. Oh, poops. Will there be a versus doc
hey,
again?
come on.
I'd rather
Let's
not.
dial it down a notch, okay?
Okay, junk.
My junk.
My junk. You know what we need? I know we're missing.
My junk. My junk.
Let's follow the man
about my
Dusty
junk.
trail.
Oh, Dusty Junk. Dusty Junk.
Wow. Special brand today. for
Dusty
sure.
Dusty Junk merch incoming. Get it at documentary.com. Oh my
It's just a
god.
dumpster with a cowboy hat on it.
Just a little tumbleweed going by. Oh my. All right, I need to go get a smudge. I will return.
All right. Good luck.
So stupid. Oh my god. Rover, he is a plethora of references and just humor. Doc is wonderful. I think we're very similar in a way that we both remember a lot of stupid movie lines. It's just kind of inevitable. What have I missed? Oh, not much. We did a run at
Just so
We
you
did-
know, there is hiding in the lockers in the break room.
Roger that. Are the orbs still there, by the way? Where's my mouse? Hello? What the hell? Excuse me? Where's my cursor? Oh, there it is. Are the orbs even still here? Doc, is the ghost? Oh, never mind. I just...
I don't know how to respond to that.
I will. I was going to say, is the ghost still there? And then it just set off the squirty cream.
The squatchy cream.
Oh, the squatty cream. Brandon, thank you for the biddies. Thank you so much, man. It's good stuff. The squatty cream.
Okay. Okay.
Good boy. Got him so good. He wasn't ready. Desert and rocks. Oh, it burst all those lights. Dang it. What a turd.
We're doing great.
Thank you. Dang it. Auto mod bot is scary today? Well, then stop pissing it off. Is it worth it a prestige? That is a you question, friend. Do you think it's worth it a prestige? If you're asking me if there's perks to it, you get ID cards and custom loadout slots. That's it. Oh, okay. We're just drinking up all the Spectre, all the ice, squirty cream. Oh no, please, you menace.
I'm not seeing any cash on the counter there, Ghosty.
No, it took cash earlier.
Oh my God. So we need to make an arrest.
Making a rest. Finding content from the Phasmo update, enjoying it myself. Already followed last night. Oh, I appreciate you, Cardinal. Thank you. What's up, Halo?
Where's the Anchi? Oh, there it is.
It's still there. It's
There's
there.
the
No, it's
Anchies.
okay. I know they took it away during the event, which was rude AF.
Yes, they did. I was worried. I thought they were
Kind of
actually going to
regret
get rid of it.
Oh, you just got to work
and
your way
then
up to it. Nah,
just
we're good.
lore.
Yeah, it's all good.
Killing the lore.
Killing the lore. Killing the lore. All right. Well, Ghosty is still here-ish. We know we either have a Dian or a Raiju. Good old Dusty.
Now, wait. What- The die-in is they added 15 new ghosts, and my brain doesn't work like this.
It said, hey.
So what does the day-in do?
Son of a bitch.
Is it the one where I move and then it
Yes.
moves
Yes.
faster? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So it's within, I don't know if you'd be able to, okay. If it's over 10 meters, it's going to sound normal. If it's within 10 meters, it's going to sound slow if we're not moving.
Okay. What
if
if
we're
I
moving,
walk
it's fast.
backward? What if I do this?
I think it's going to be fast.
Does that impact the ghost in any way?
Yes, a crouched moonwalk will still make it fast. Yeah, it's a female ghost. Yeah.
Okay. What if we're like, my junk.
My junk.
My junk.
Great question. Great question. I like it. Keep them coming.
Okay. I'm a student of the game.
All right. So we need. Okay, I really don't need audio, do I?
Money.
We need a video of the ghost.
Video of the ghost.
All right, I'm gonna get the video camera because it's gonna show up as soon as I pick it up. You ready?
No, it's
Watch
not. You're gonna be
watch
fine.
this. It's gonna
See?
show up right behind
Look.
you. Ready? 3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
No, behind you, Doc. Behind
Oh, okay,
you.
all right,
Sorry.
sorry.
Try again.
3.
Ready? Here we go.
Yeah, right. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, it's behind me. It's
Nice job. Hey, kid.
Sup, nerd? Nice. All right, well, that worked. I'll take it. Oh my God.
All right, I'm a
Got
little
your
nervous
drops, let's
about
go.
standing in
You're,
this
then you
area.
can
I'm
sit
not
if
gonna
you'd
lie.
like. We do need to prevent a hunt with a crucifix. So, I mean,
Not helping.
what? What's not helping?
Sit. I'm sitting.
Oh, that would be great if we could actually sit. Like, if you could interact with the benches over here and just have a squat, have a little sit.
Yeah,
you,
the view
Drifter.
from outside would be great.
It'd be hilarious.
Just
Oh
seeing,
my
like,
God. Everybody
Those
lining up in
dynamics
here. Waiting for them.
Oh my God, I
mustard
want a burger
pancakes.
so bad right now.
The burger looks good.
Yeah, it does.
I might make burgers for dinner. Might have to. All right. Well, I could go find the cursed, I guess, and we could lose sanity, I guess. Oh no! Please shut the door.
Whoa, hey, whoa, hey, whoa.
I thought. Chip up. Chip up. Did I not just hear the switch? Oh, that might have been that switch. My jump.
So this ghost has suddenly decided not to do anything, apparently.
Oh, whoops. That's correct.
Did you get a picture of it?
Sorry. Whoops. I was just getting some realty photos in case we sell the joint.
I love donuts. Donuts are great.
Okay. Gosh dang it. Thank you for the follows, by the way. Toast, thank you so much for the prime, man. Thank you for the sub. Thinking Umbat, that's right. You know, I've met the fourth handsome brother. All right. Well, I'm gonna go find the cursed possession and try to get this ghost to do stuff and stop being stupid.
All right. I'm gonna stand right here by the counter and
I trust you.
act like I know what I'm doing.
Okay. Listen to any rappers? Not anymore. Really? Dude, are you kidding me? Wait a minute. Is this a Raichu? That was really far away. We have the mirror, by the way.
So, are you planning on doing something with this mirror? If you are, a little heads up would be all.
I did do a peek, and it did look like the ghost is possibly in the office now. Is the heartbeat loud? It's not going to be. They fixed it. That's not there anymore.
Roger that. It wants to avoid the junk counter.
I believe it does want to avoid the junk counter. It might start hunting close by.
You can't do that right before an event, okay? Don't. I crap my pants.
It evented on me in the room. Why did you crap your shorts?
Because you said you said, all right, it might hunt, and then I hear.
Okay. We knew it was a Raichu before it even hunted. And it's not based on a heartbeat. All right, I'm gonna bring a crucifix back to this office because I think it might have moved back here. That's a hiding spot? Sure is. It certainly is in here. Harumph. Hey, so about that crucifix. What tips do you have for a beginner like me? Don't die.
Is that a request?
No. It ate the crucifix. Our objectives are done, and I think it's a Raiju, sir. My number one piece of advice for you would be to do the tutorial and learn what hiding is. I know that's like 2 pieces of advice. My junk.
Son of a gun.
Where's Doc? Oh, I was like, where the hell did he go, dude? Oh, ads are playing. You okay, big guy?
Yes.
Oh my god. Tips to get better at Sunny Meadows. It's so overwhelming even with the parabolic. Try playing with more people at first. It'll help you learn the map and also makes it a little bit easier rather than trying to do it solo. Look at this guy. Hey.
Yeah. He tried to get me.
Hey.
Still got the crucifix in my pocket, just in case.
Still in my pocket. Hey.
Still in my pocket. Let's go.
Objectives done. Ghosty, I believe, is a Raiju. Let's dip. His pants are loaded. Hey,
We're dipping.
wait, whoa,
We're
easy.
dipping.
Get dipped on, nerd.
I was just gonna. Okay.
One and the same, sir. One and the same. My favorite map is still Willow, for sure. Mm-hmm. Definitely still Willow.
I've got some jobs ready for you.
All right.
Oh, sweet ghost box.
All right. You chose Nellers. So
I sure
will
did.
Choose. Let's see. I'm gonna pick Camp Woodwood.
Roger that. Camp Woodwind it is.
I'm gonna Roger it so good.
Yeah.
Dew Point Hope. No.
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating.
Classic Carlos Belfield.
Just here
Classic.
needs to be linked to
Oh.
a cursed object. Go
No
and
blood
take a
moon.
closer
No.
look.
No blood moon.
Using it will help your
Fair enough.
investigation.
Shut up! Shut up! Base 1055, Carlos Belfield. Capture unique paranormal sounds with a sound recorder. Can never reach sanity below 25%. And detect a paranormal sound with a parabolic microphone.
You're gonna get got so good. You're gonna wish you didn't get got so good.
I
You
am
hear
not
me?
rubbing it in. I'm just
That's
saying. I just
okay.
want-
What would you define that as? With every word having some sort of a roll on it, you know what you're doing.
Listen to me. If you, some people are great at Phasmophobia. Some people roll their R's.
So wait.
There's only one way to get better.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, hey, not for nothing. Think about poor Chiba the Hutt.
What's
okay,
the one,
when
what's
we do the
one
breath
way to,
voice,
what's the one way to get better?
practice. Practice FlashForce. Oh, I'm sorry. FlashForce.
Go inside. Get hunted by the demon right now. Go.
Okay.
Go inside. Son of a bitch.
Cursed object is a summoning.
Be a real shame if it got lit.
I seem to remember
No. Look at that. Look up at the. Turn around and look up at the camera and say that.
I seem to remember us having a discussion about not trying to get murdered or murder.
All right.
Thank you, FlashForce.
I hate your face. Oh, sound recorder,
The bonus
parabolic.
in the red tab.
Noted. Thank you, sir. They're not on Ridgeview. That's correct. I knew we could do it as a team. What I missed? Nothing. Just got started with Woodwind. Just got started. Normally, whenever I'm playing solo, I can stop gameplay for the ads. When I'm playing with other people, I can't. I can't talk to. I can't. He's also streaming. Like I can't be like, hey, dude, just sit there for 3 minutes while ads are playing. So.
Hey, it's a little chilly back by the lean-to.
By the what?
There's a little chili by the lean-to.
The lean-to?
This is a lean-to. This is a lean-to.
Who calls it a
When you go out
lean-to?
and you
What
meet-
is that?
It's a structure, like when you're doing survival stuff and you're out in the woods and you don't have any supplies. You got to build a shelter real fast. You get a bunch
Oh.
of sticks, and then you build a lean-to. It's
Okay.
a lean-to.
Okay, I got you. I picked up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
All right, now I know what to build.
I feel like you're not actually with me on the lean-to.
I swear I am. I'm sold on it. I'm sold. I could have gotten a
it's bad.
parabolic there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, bud. I'm gonna do the old trick to get the parabolic sound.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you. So, rather than sitting there and hoping that you're going to get the parabolic sound, what you can do is you can use the sound recorder and know when a sound is coming, and then you can get the sound and the parabolic response. So when I see it coming, I get close to it, pull out the parabolic, get it there, and then switch back to and record it on the sound recorder. We'll see if Ghosty will cooperate. Have Doc do that? Nah, we got it. Lean to is pretty much like half a tent. Well, there we go. I've never heard that phrase before. Yeah. Never heard that phrase. Hey, can you bring a UV back here, sir?
Oh my god, I can't wait. Yes. Yes, I will.
Thank you. Ah! I might as well record it.
It's just an event.
You are such a hooker pants. Oh, I hate it here. See? It should be about here.
One UV light.
Oh, can you check this, the tub, sir? Can you check the tub?
I can.
Nothing? Oh, it's
red
another whisper. Whatever.
and white.
Okay. Well, okay. That means no UV. It touched it. It touched it.
Oh.
It gave it a touch. All right. I'm going to go get more stuff. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Just got Funnel Runners. Going to go play. Hope it's fun. Oh, it's so great. Ooh, the barrels are here. It's a blast, man. Sorry, thank you for the 20 months. Hope you're having a great day today. I am. Doc and I are having a fun zzz. What's happening? Playing Phaz. What are you doing? I'm trying to record sounds. My mouse was double clicking. I still kind of have issues every now and then with sounds. Yeah, I experience that too. So I feel that. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? Are you close? Are you Doc? Are you friendly? Are you cold? Are you wearing pants?
Yes. Yes.
lightly aged Thay? Oh my. Oh, dots.
Dots? Nice.
He said, writing or orbs? No writing yet. Okay, I need a video camera. Wow, wait. Well, we have one. It's right here. Do this. It's about to write in the book. We want to see it happen. Ay, caramba. Maybe a Dale. I mean, maybe.
Do we have any other evidence
Other than the Dudskis? No, we do not.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, no writing. I think this might be a
It is
Thay.
Carlos.
It might be a Thay, but it also could be a Daldagast. It's pretty quick. I don't think we moved too much. What's up, Arlo?
I was moving. I was out of there. I was like,
Well, no. Not us as a person. I mean, like the ghost.
Oh,
like we didn't move a lot of objects that would have slowed it down.
oh.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get a smudge.
I'm glad you don't consider me an object. I appreciate that.
I would never do that to you, Doc. Not to your face.
Thank you. Wait, what?
Nothing. All right, I'm gonna grab a crucifix. I'm gonna grab one of these. I about to just throw some shit to check. Probably. What I am gonna do. Woo. Might set up shop here.
We have some ghost
Might set
writing.
up shop. Oh, do we? Oh.
The ghost writing.
All right.
Okay, so we got a long gas, the Deogen, no Bombo. All right, we know it's not a Deogen. Flash! Run!
I think they're the death barrels again. How dare you laugh? How dare you? Well, obviously the title is wrong. Well, sorry, the title means he failed. I don't know. It's really fast. I think this might be a Daldagast. I think that sounded faster than the first hunt, which would not be the case if it was a Thay.
I'm supposed to live without you. The ghost came and snapped your neck.
The barrels might be
in
fixed, which is a really good thing. They might be
two.
fixed.
How am I
I was standing over here and the ghost came from there to there.
without you?
If that's the case, that's great. We still have a problem with the barrels where the ghost is still wandering back here. Still an issue.
I'm gonna take an inventory real quick. Find the cursed item. Why?
The barrels are back to being death barrels again. So I will say something about that to them. Like, fixing the issue with whatever the pathing was, fantastic. The ghost still wandering back there, awful. All right, I guess I'll just go hang out with the fire. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. If this is a Daldagast, hold on. I can be helpful as a dead player. This is the first time that I've ever been able to be helpful like this as a dead player. If it is. Okay. I help. I can only pick up one object at a time, which does suck, but that's okay. I'm just throwing everything to the floor. Everything to the floor. I had to have thrown 26 by now, right? You've been counting? Absolutely not. It's been 26, I believe. Okay, we'll go with it. It's fine. Oh, nice shot. Oh my God. Streams, what's up, dude? 42. Holy hell. Okay. No, Doc, I'm good. No, we're good. 26 is the max amount that you can do. It is the max amount. But now, as a dead player, I can do things to be helpful. If the ghost is a Deltagast, which we think it is. I think he might also be alluring to that as well. Now, the ghost isn't hunting, which is interesting. 'Cause how am I supposed to live without you? Oh, there we go. The spice is nice. All those tiny one-page books on Tangle have changed. The books that are on the shelves that we can't touch, it's been that way for a little while, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, Crucy's still in the way. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Hey,
8,
thanks for the help,
9,
buddy.
10,
You're doing great.
11, 12, 13, 14,
You want to toss me one of
15,
them marshmallows there?
16.
No. Oh, thank you. Don't mind it. Now we're camping.
17,
Got
18,
beer?
19,
Got
20,
some marshmallows?
21, 22,
And FlashForce.
23, 24, 25, 26. Okay. It ate, I'm gonna have to do this again. It ate the crucifix, and when the ghost eats the crucifix, it resets. Yeah, look how slow this guy is. Loop him. Loop him in the fire, Doc. Loop him in the fire, Doc. Come on. Loop him in the fire, Doc. Loop him. Oh, man. He doesn't have to be that far away. The ghost is very, very slow. It's a Deltagast. 100%. What is the cursed possession anyway? Did we see it? Oh, Franklin. Is it the cards? Oh, it's a circle. Duh.
Your sacrifice was not in vain. I know what the ghost is now. I know.
Okay, we're good.
All right, El Bombo, check. Let's go.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm still convinced. I'm convinced the barrels are back to being death barrels.
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
Well, that was fun.
Sorry.
That was
Sorry that happened to you.
No, listen. There's a glass half full of the situation, and that's the first time I've been able to be helpful as a dead player to interact with things to help with the ghost.
I appreciate that. I do.
Yeah. Now, the death
I'm sorry
barrels.
your stream title's dead.
No, that's okay. Well, we're not doing good.
Had better days. Had better days.
We've
but,
definitely
you
done
know.
better. The barrels there was a thing where like there was a line of sight problem where you were able to like kind of make the ghost go back and forth, and I think they fixed it. But the problem is the ghost still has the ability to wander back in that hiding spot like very often. So now that it's back to being the death barrels again.
What's with these ghosts wandering all the time? Devs!
Such a wanderer.
Devs! Cut it out!
Blockbuster,
All right.
thank you for the 9 months. Heather, thank you for the prime. Yes, your turn.
Amazing.
So
okay.
that was not a loss. That was actually a good thing.
thing.
Old Pop, have a good one.
Yeah.
Damn cow
Yeah,
outfit
I picked
sitting
it.
on my fridge.
I picked Sunny Meadows.
Okay. Sunny Fool?
Yeah.
It's Sunny Fool.
Yeah. Oh, Sunny Fool.
All right. Where do you hope the ghost will be?
Well, I'm thinking that in the front foyer would be pretty nice.
It would be nice. I think it's unrealistic. I think we're going to get the ghost in the male wing, the 3 doors down.
Male
See what I
wing.
did there? Whale.
Yeah.
Male wing, male wing.
Male wing. Male wing is what brings us together.
the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation.
Got him.
I've got a report that suggests a possible ghost sighting.
No herbs.
I hope so. We drove all the way out here. It's a possible ghost sighting.
Guy comes in with the radio. I don't see shit.
I was just sending you on a Dunkin' run, but as it turns out, there might be a ghost there.
Case 1056, Corey Manson. Repelled the ghost with incense whilst chasing someone. Have a member of your team escaped the ghost during a hunt.
Robocop, thank you for the prime.
Sounds with
Fritzy,
the
thank you for
paranormal
12
sound
months.
recorder.
Okay. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. I'm gonna bring a thermometer. The thermometer.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna grab it later.
Okay. Does he? Does he not know he's still in the radio voice? All right, what do you got?
Michaela, I'm glad you said something because I would have been on
Damn
voice
it.
mod for the rest of the
Way to go, Michaela. I was like, I'm gonna see how long he
Myself,
stays
you
in
just
that
let it
voice. I know. Son of a bitch. All right. God, ruin all of our fun.
Thanks, FlashForce. I know who my real friends are. Thanks.
We have the monkey ball, by the way. Show your game stats. Sure.
Roger that.
There you
We're
go.
gonna win.
There you go. Which way'd you go, sir, by the way?
I'm in the boss mod here.
The Boss Monte?
Oui, monsieur. Le Phasmophobia.
Oh, Pierre Escargot. I said the ghost was going to be here. Remember? This is where I said the ghost would be. The odds of that are very low. I don't think I'm going to win. Shit. Well, it's worth a try. House Sunny restricted his most played. It's wrong. That's not correct. There's no shot that's correct. What the hell? Did we not turn the power on? Hey, you didn't have any juice down there by chance, did you? Preferably apple? I knew you were going to say that. I knew.
Let's go. Apple juice for the win.
This guy. Thank you guys for the follows. Internet Cat, welcome in. Guffman, hello. How am I supposed to live without you? Is Phantom rare? That's is equal chance as every other ghost in the game. Yeah. Somehow TOS. I found the juice and it is now a loose.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? I was using the parabolic microphone, which ironically makes it so I can't hear any.
Yeah, for sure. The juice is loose. Deuce.
Right.
I can hear him okay. Well, no ghost. I guess we're going home, friends. Still got a spirit. All in due time, friend. We'll get there eventually. I haven't heard that. Wait a minute. Oh, that's Doc. God damn it. Oh. I thought I heard a light switch from a ghost. I think it was Doc. Hey!
Hey, did you turn on these lights?
I think I did, and then I turned the power on. Oh, Sunny Meadows has a place where the player can stuck. Oh, well, make sure you report it to the Discord, to the Phasmo Discord. I don't know, man.
You look stupid. Oh.
Wow, that wasn't very nice.
No, you're right. I apologize.
You can barely hear Doc. Well, if I'm not near him, you're not gonna be able to hear him. All right, I'm gonna go down the other side, I guess.
Jacket and... Whoa, whoa, whoa.
No, I can't. No, I'm trying to find the ghost. I don't know where it is. It's not making any noise.
Oh, I don't know where it is.
No.
Again?
Oh, the monkey paw. I mean, we could always just trap it. Say F this. Sure, why not? Here, I'll bring it out. I'll bring it out of this room so that way we don't trap ourselves in here.
Roger that.
Actually, let me check the temps in here. Okay. I mean, we could trap ourselves in here, I guess.
I don't like that idea, but...
Why not? I think sounds fine.
All right, go for it then. Fine. Trap us in here.
Yeah.
Do it.
I wish to
I'm
trap the
sure.
ghost. Did I mention that the temps were roughly 3 degrees in here?
Is that a joke?
It is. It's not in here. It's 13 degrees in here.
Well, there we go. That's not bad.
Ah,
That's not bad. It's pretty tough.
it is a little toast. I hear nothing from this ghost though. So, what should we do?
I don't know. Would you like to deliver a sermon? Go ahead.
Sure.
Okay. Start off with dearly beloved or something like that.
Dearly the beloved, we are gathered here. Man, this room is really big. Jesus. To not die, but to live together in marriage.
Yeah, marriage. Let's go.
I got you a ring.
Do the thing when you ask if anyone objects to this marriage.
Oh, okay. Does anyone object?
Yes,
Oh,
I object.
all right. It's not very nice. It's probably hunting, by the way. Hold on. The ghost is hunting. We need to find it. Oh, it's over there. Fast ghosty? I have an EMF reader in the van? Oh, I do? What? Nobody told me. The fuck? It's definitely back this way somewhere. I don't know where it is over here, but it's over here for sure.
Roger that.
We have spots. Did I just hear it blow something out? Like somewhere to go. We can hidey right here.
Oh, I just thought you meant we have spots.
No, I'm seeing spots. I think I'm gonna pass
Perhaps
out.
a topical cream would take care of that.
Mail wing? No mail wing. No mail wing. Do we hear anything? Twin, think of it as 16 months. Ghosty. Is it doing laundry?
What do I do with my flat? This isn't good.
What's
All
not
right, I'm
good?
gonna go get my flashlight.
Okay.
I lost my flashlight somewhere. I'll be right back.
Hey, you shouldn't lose your flashlight.
I lost my U light because your name is Flash, and the light
Why is he
is
echoing?
called a flashlight, which makes it a U light.
Am I able to get a voice box? I am if I want to. Yeah. Is it time for a Sunny rework? No, I like Sunny. It just happens to suck when you get the ghosty all the way in the back. You son of a bitch. It did cut the power. Aldoxin, hello friend, how are you? All right. I don't even know. I don't even know how close we are to getting hunted by the ghost. The ghost did sound a little quick though. Definitely sounded a little fast. All right, I got that. I'm gonna get. Is it in here? Maybe. Hey, Mike Wazowski, what's up, dude? Hi. I don't know if the ghosty is in the kitchens or not. I don't know.
Or Nat?
Yeah, or not.
Or Nat.
Hello?
All right, I'm gonna bring in a camera. I'm gonna look for stuff.
Doc, are you my inner voice?
Oh, sorry.
I think I'm just gonna go with this one for the rest of the stream.
Jesus. Oh man. I guess I'll bring these. Yeah, sure. Let's try that. Wait, did the ghost just turn the power back on? Ooh. Not a Hantu. I don't remember hearing the fountain when I went outside. The only map that needs a touch up is high school. High school, prison. They could definitely use some touch ups for sure. All right, we have a smudge just in case. If you're looking at the CCTV to see if there's orbs, do you need to open the door first? No, the orbs will be there immediately. The ghost isn't active until you open the front door, but the orbs are there instantly. So you could never leave the truck and know that you have orbs. Yeah. Disciple, the Sunday's going well. How are you? Where's this ghost, dude? I think it's in there. When the light goes out, we'll know it's done hunting. Hey, what's up, Cap? Things are going well, friend. How are you? Never sure about it? Yeah, you're good. Is this twins? A little fast, though. Dead dog. Oh, no. Is it really? We got a dock down. Sounds slower. Shit. Are you... I was like, sounds slower compared to what? The fastest ghost in the game? Wait a minute. That sounded slower outside, though. Wasn't that interesting? I do have a monkey paw. This is very true. I would like to know what the ghosty is first, though. Tell him to rub some dirt on it. He'll be fine. Just put it in the cooler. Just put it in the cooler. How are you, Wolfen? Good to see you, friend. Halloway, thank you for the 10 months. No, I don't think so. I think this ghost changed speeds mid-hunt. I'm going to wait for it to hunt again. Now it sounds normal. Is this a mimic? Can't be a Hantu. It turned the power on. No, this isn't even a no evidence run. It's just a nightmare, and the ghost is being a nightmare. Right. Spirit box. That's what I want. Definitely sounds like it's starting in the kitchen. For sure. Hey, what's up, FNAF? I wonder where Doc is. Never mind. Hi, Doc. Ooh, I see breath here. And then you fart ball me? You are a sick bastard. You know that? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? Are you here? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you near? No orbs. Yeah, the ghost room's in the kitchen. Which is just a blasty blast. And we have a dead Doc. I'm not about to spend 15 hours doing that. I'm going to bring Doc back. If I die, I die, but we're bringing him back. Maybe late orbs? I mean, I looked early, but that camera is not a great one in the kitchen. And then we looked again and I couldn't see it. No, Nightmares 2 evidence, not 3. We do have this, though. We do have this. Okay. I mean, I wish for life. Doc? Is he okay? I didn't wish him into death, did I? Would you stop, dude? I'm a little confused at what we found. Imagine he died immediately. I don't know. I don't hear him walking around anywhere. Oh no. Is our Doc not doing well? Did he die again? Doc? Is he dead again? It didn't revive him. Did it really? Wait, did it not work? If it didn't work, that means I can do it again. Because that means it bugged out and something was wrong. Shit. What? I had it up here, yeah? Yeah, there it is. Didn't work. Okay. I wish for life. You better run. Nothing again? Okay. Well, I tried. I'm bringing it back. Still dead. That's stupid. Okay. That's happened in the past where like it didn't work and then we had to do it again, but I literally was able to wish for it twice, so that's a bug. Okay. Okay. Yep, that's apparently bugged. Yippee. No, it's a 50-50 if you live as the person who is wishing for life, but you should guaranteed bring somebody back to life. Yeah, every wish on the monkey paw, there's a negative to it. The negative to making that wish is you might die. Yeah. I think you wish life near the body. No. Has nothing to do with where you are. You have a question. I have an answer. Time to report it. Yeah, I'll report it. Yeah. Doc, I have no clue, man. I'm just going to go with a guess so we can bring you back because I tried to bring you back twice and the game said F you. So it probably had something to do with all those rolling of the R's and it's probably a little bit of karma coming your way. What do we think it is? I swear I thought I heard speed changes at weird spots, and then it sounded normal for a couple of hunts. I'm going Galu. I'm going Galu for funsies. The reason I don't think Obambo is because I think it sounded like a normal speed hunt, and Obambo would never sound normal. It'll either be fast or it'll be slow. But I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. Oh, it's a miling. It must have been. It must have been because of line of sight speed on him. It must have been the line of sight speed on you when it was fast when I heard it that other time. I swear I heard speed changes.
It was
Weird.
pretty quick. I will tell you that.
I wished for life twice and it didn't work.
Why didn't it work? It should be working.
That's why.
A monkey paw should work.
That's why it's not working right there.
Well, don't give me that. You know, one thing, I don't know if my model is the same. But your head is slightly tilted one direction in this very judgy kind of way. Like
No, that sounds
you
right.
have a slight head tilt going on.
I think you also have like a very slight one going on too. Like for my angle, just a little bit to the left. Like
except mine is more. My expression is more like you ever say to the dog, "Wanna go for and then don't finish the sentence, then it kind of goes. That's what mine looks like.
for a raw.
Wanna go for
Although my dog could give 2 Fs about going for a ride. No, doesn't care.
Really?
No, not at all. She kind of hates it.
Gosh, our dog would go berserk.
Oh, I wish mine did, but no, she doesn't like it.
Yeah, but then you'd actually.
Does anybody
have to
know if
walk.
Doc streams
Who
like
wants to
right
do
now?
that?
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, want to go to
Forrest
Ridgeview?
Gump
Want to go
doesn't.
to Ridgeview?
I would love to go to Ridgeview.
Okay, me too. Wait for it.
It's a bot.
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating.
Nailed it. There we go.
Because here,
Hey, Spicy, how are you?
object.
No, get out of here. Stop trying to book me. Go do your job. Do your job.
I'm not booking
You're
you.
such a liar. You turn into one of those like groan tubes. I'm doing well, friend.
Gates.
Thank you.
Whoa! No crap.
Case 1050. Stop it! Case 1057. Marie Martin. Detective Paranormal's out with the parabolic microphone. Cap 3 and 8 videos of video camera. Get the guts bird fire.
Roger that. It shall be done. It shall be done. Are the tarot cards still bugged? I think they're fixed for the most part.
So ready for this?
Are you ready for this? All right, I'm gonna be side quest guy. I'm side quest guy. Let's go. Let's go. Side quest guy.
The cursed object is the mirror.
Roger that.
I'm gonna go ahead and look for the power now. Oh, I found it. It's on the wall.
Good job. I'm listening for sound.
Hey, Flash, what you have for lunch today?
We had some dino nugs and curly fries.
Wait, did you really have curly fries?
I swear to God, we had curly fries.
What kind of curly fries did you have?
Arby's.
For real?
Yes.
Wait, no. Seriously,
Yes.
we were. Am I crazy? We were talking about this. I was talking about this yesterday. I think it was on Glaze Stream. I was like, "Holy crap! They have Arby's curly fries." You can
Yes.
just buy
In
at
the store. Yes.
Oh.
That is what we had. They're wonderful.
Oh my God.
They are quacktastic, sir.
Yes.
Jack in the Box curly fries are peak. I've never been to a Jack in the Box before. Hey, look. You're doing great. I'm just going to record video because it's going to show up and I don't want to miss it.
What makes you think it's going to show?
No, Jack, no, there's not one near me.
Sorry, it's right here. Okay, I'll be right back.
All right. We have an EMF 5er, Dak. That wasn't words. I don't know what he just said. That was a fire extinguisher, yeah? Yeah, okay. I don't want to get the lantern. Not going to get me. Not today. I shall not be Fuweld.
Hey!
Hi. What's up, Zara? How are you? All right. Not a mare. That should be a different video. And it is. Let's go. Okay. Grandmama! It's Grandma. I don't know what he said, but he was out of the door. Nugget, welcome in. Crash, thank you for the follow. Sunbeam, how are you? Welcome in. How are we doing, friends? Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get a smudge because I fear for my life because now it's getting spicy. What's Grandma doing? Looking for her dentures, probably. It did blow out the firelight twice, correct. It blew out the candle, then it blew out that. I'm not worried about doing an Onryo test right now because if we go and we look at the book right here, we're not going to actually have an Onryo, so there's no point in doing the third firelight test. I bid you adieu. Okay, odds of that have gone down. Do this, do that, do this, do that. One of those, one of these, one of those, one of these. Fairly certain there was no orbicals to be had anywhere. Nope. Would you like to try spirit boxing? Come on, Ghosty, walk this way. Come on. It's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. Lots of upchuckery.
It just chucked a fork in here across the universe. Across the universe.
What, was that a Beatles impression?
Yes.
Let's go.
I thought my John Lennon was pretty much spot on.
Yeah, I knew it immediately. Nice. Okay, there we go.
Imagine all the ghosties.
Not living.
You may say I'm a Raju, but I'm just
not the only one. Is Distorted Music a new audio recording? I don't know if it's an audio recording, but it's definitely a video recording. Wow, dude. Rude. Rude crew, dude.
Wait, what? Who? Me? Or the
No,
ghost?
the ghost. No, the ghost.
Oh. I was
No,
confused.
the ghost. I'm gonna go walk through it. Watch this.
Careful.
That's fine. See, look. Everybody can do it. Hey, where'd you find the power, by the way? Oh, it is audio. So it's audio and video, which is
I
weird.
do believe it was in the gear.
Roger that. On the way.
Did you already know there was freezing? Did you ever know
No.
that there's freezing temperature?
No. It farted on us, right? Wait, did it fart on us?
Temperatures are very cold.
It did. Hey, it's not an Oni. It let one rip right in our face. Jin Shade twins. Probably not a shade. So it's probably not a shade. Because, you know, it sucks. but it might be a Jennifer. It hasn't shut the power off yet.
Roger that.
You can't find a way to make Phas watchable. It performs the worst. That's really not the way to look at it for your channel. You can't find a way to make it watchable. So, I mean, by that definition, then you're doing something that people don't want to watch. But it's not always the case. You did it, didn't you?
I just had a little stumble there. I just tripped a little bit. It was just a little trip. That's all.
Do we not remember what happened the last time this happened, Doc?
Maybe you could touch the piano. And
Well,
we prove
if
this
I
myth and
touch
myth.
it, it's going to kill you. Because you touched it first.
I think not.
Get
See?
ready. Here it comes.
What?
I said,
What do you
here it
mean?
comes.
It's not. It's not going to happen.
It's
You know
absolutely
why?
going to happen. What you're going to do is you're going to smudge here, and then you're going to go hide over here, and then the ghost is going to wander over to you, and you're going to die in that corner.
Okay, you know what? Okay, I'm going to illuminate that corner.
Okay? I'm not
And
giving
then
you a
I'm
fist
going to
bump,
show you how I
by the
feel
way.
about this. Ready? Na, 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 na,
No, no, no. Probably too quiet. Just try other things.
Nothing. It's
Just
a
try.
myth.
Just try.
It doesn't.
Oh, look at the brains on Brad.
Yeah. I've
Still
learned.
alive, my man.
I've learned.
I learned. I've been cursed so many times. I just know how to survive it now.
Did you say it like that?
What?
I learned.
That's how you said it. Literally how you just said it. What do you mean?
Hey, Flash, I
I
learned.
learned. Oh my god. Okay, we didn't really get a good test for its speed. I think it was normal. I think.
I think you're right. I'm gonna go get another.
How come I think of the 19 months, friend? All right, I'll wait for the next hunt, maybe.
Roger that. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Ay, caramba. But no, I was speaking to somebody on the YouTube side. Yeah, talking about making it playable. I mean, there are so many factors involved. If you have a new channel, if you've only posted a couple of videos, like you can't say, oh man, nobody's watching my videos. It's just over. Grandma. Get shadowed on, nerd. You live stream it. Okay. But how many videos have you posted to your channel?
It burned my hand.
That's okay. Are you okay? Yeah, you're okay. You're fine.
What? You open with, that's okay. My hand burnt. That's okay.
My hand! My hand is burning in front of my
My
face.
hand is burning in front of my face.
It's fine. Play the piano again for a quick
So is
test.
it in here? Okay. It's in there.
I think it's still in there. I'm not sold 100%. Yeah. You don't post.
Deducing.
Oh, wait. So,
Can you tell me about your deduction?
well, by the power of my deductions combined, I don't know what it is yet.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay.
A little
Because
line
I
of
have a
sight.
theory.
Okay, what's your theory? Okay, so wait, I thought you said video. So okay, so it's stream. Okay, how long have you been streaming for?
Shade. Oh crap.
How not to have a black screen in Phas? Go to the Phasmophobia Discord, let them know you're having a problem. That's faster. That's twins. 100%. 100%. You just sound like you have indigestion.
Wait a minute. What? Why is there a caulk here? Did you put this caulk here?
Well, if Frank's not there, we got to fill the void with something. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were casting caulks at me, and I was.
Oh no. We do that on the piano. Oh, okay.
I'm
Anyway.
out of smudge sticks, so I'm not messing around anymore.
All right. No more goofs. No more goofs.
That's right.
All right. We did get the objectives. God dang it. We did get the objectives
Yeah,
and the
done.
ghosty. Gosh, dang it. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for it. He got me good. It was the ghost who did it.
Wait. What's the ghost?
It's gotta be twins. Without line of sight, that ghost was fast. It's gotta be twins.
Roger that. I wasn't paying enough attention.
Oh.
Believe it or not.
Well, I'm glad we talked about this.
Yeah. Yeah, you want me to go ahead and press the button?
Sure. How many evidence?
Right.
Nightmares 2.
1, 2. I did
3 months. Let's see.
More dramatic.
Follower count doesn't matter. Don't worry about that. Not a lot of peeps really swing by for Phas. Usually rivals. Okay, well, so there's your issue immediately.
It was a twin.
Hey, look at that.
Well done.
Nice. All right, where are we going next, sir?
Well, I think we should probably go. I like the Bleeze.
I also like the Bleeze. We have ads coming soon, by the way. Just
Give me
heads
some
up.
of that. Give me the Bleeze, please.
Oh, you don't want that. That'll itch for weeks.
Wait.
No, so the twins start out either fast or slow. There's two different speeds. One is 10% faster than the normal ghost. One is 10% slower. Yeah. But so you stream Rivals, Minecraft, and Phasmo, and you're a new streamer. So it's going to take a while to grow because that right there is why. Because your audience is being
Case
split
1058
over
Marie Williams. Capture video of the
3
ghost
entirely
using
different
using
categories.
sensors to detect the paranormal sound with the parabolic microphone.
Okay.
Let's go. Oh, okay there.
Okay there, bud.
Yoink.
Yeah, you yoink it. You know what? Never mind on the yoinking. No, don't come back. No. Just keep going. No, just go. No, just go in the house.
Okay.
Ay, caramba. Ah, caramba. Yeah, there is zero things wrong with being a variety streamer. You are more than welcome to stream whatever you want to stream. But understand that if you're trying to grow and you're trying to build an audience, you have people that are expecting things based on what you play. The juice is loose. So if you play Minecraft and Rivals and Phasmo and Star Wars and Solitaire and this, you're splitting your audience. So you're gonna have people that come to watch you for one thing.
Did you say Circus Sloof?
No, not Yerkasloof. I said the power's on. So again, there's zero things wrong with it. You can do whatever you like. But if you're trying to grow, if you're looking for faster ways to grow, variety is not the way. Not that strong of a variety. Within the same category, like within the same area, the same ball field is what you're looking for. Did you say round the outside?
Round the outside. Round the outside.
Round the outside. We'll wait here and see if we hear the ghosty. Crazy funny. Well, we'll try. Ad break starting in like 60 seconds, friends. They last for about 3 minutes. Just a heads up. Never thought of it. Yeah. If you have people that find you on your stream randomly from Minecraft, and then the next day you are then streaming Phasmophobia, and they could give a shit about Phasmophobia or horror games, they're not going to stay.
Might be in the laundry there, bud.
You said it's in the laundry there, bud?
Might be in the laundry there, bud. I got temperatures getting down to 8.5 degrees in here.
Well, I'll turn the heater on, bud.
Maybe not though, because it's jumping around all over. I got
All right.
8.6.
Well, I'm glad we talked about this.
9.3. What? Oh.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
I see
yeah,
breath.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I see breath.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Okay, relax. Relax. We'll save Josie. Hey, what's up? She liked that apparently. Jesus. Eek. Eek. I came for Faz. I stayed for the soda and banter. We have to hit the soda first. How do you feel about that, Hotshot? Mostly a horror game streamer and then just do Minecraft on the weekends? There's, well,
Yoink.
again.
Yoink.
Yeah, get yoink. Oh, no, we can't say that.
Get
There she is.
yoinked on? That is
Shut up.
strange
Stop it.
sentence.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
You said it, not
Knock
me.
it off.
You
I know
said
what
it.
I said. I heard me.
Don't blame
I was
me.
there when I said it.
What are we gonna do today? I'm gonna stream with
Don't
FlashForce. He's gonna talk
stop,
about all the yoinking.
Wow. Just gotta call people out like that. Wow, dude. Listen, if you're gonna walk through the tea room, you are going to be civil. Well, you never mind. Fuck that. Nope, not anymore. Nope, little bastard child in the tea room. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. All right, crucifixes are down, sir.
Thank you. Where are you?
Oh. He loves Spirit Box. Oh yeah.
You know it.
Oh my god. It's up chucking things at us, sir. You were saying about being civil? Ay, ay, ay. Let's go get stuffs. Hiss, thank you so much for the 2 months.
I'm not going to play the piano. Come on.
Don't
That would
you
be your
dare,
response.
Doc. You are going to be pushing its limits. Do we only have the Spirit Box so far,
Some
sir?
of us are yoinkers, some of us are limit pushers, okay?
Okay. Which one are you?
Let's put up a poll in chat. All right. I grab this.
Oh, it'll say a lot. Hi, caramba. We're gonna watch this for a second. Spirit box, we need Doots. Well, I mean, I've got Doots in there. I need to check for UV. We'll do that in a second. Yoinking and pushing. Yeah, that's what they say. That is what they say. We're just gonna watch Doc. Oh, there's the dots. Oh. Roger that. Ooh. Okay, so I don't need this. I have a smudge. We need this. And another. All right. Going in.
Got this.
Okay, thank you. Time for Doc to get got by a Dio. Nah, he's too good for that. Stefiro, what's up? How are you? Yeah, it's Nightmare. Yeah. Walk in the salt. Do it. Nice. Okay. Wraith is out the door. Where is where the fuck? Is there no light switch on this side? That's just goofball. Like, okay. That's fine, but like, oh, I was gonna take a picture of it.
It's not a wraith.
Oh, it's not the Wraith.
It's not a wraith.
Where are you?
It's not a wraith.
Are you here? Are you here? Are you near?
From behind.
Where are you? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes, sir. Now we're talking.
that was a real shift in tone very quickly on the spirit box. I was like,
Ba-dap-a-dip. We still need a video of it, and we need to cleanse. On it. Denzel, thank you for the 9 months, man. Been gone for a month. It's already new stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, bud.
I'm gonna go get a smudge just in case.
That's not a bad idea, sir. Friend. Now, listen. Oh, never mind. I was thinking of Obake. Never mind. Scratch that. Don't you think the ghost hunters get bored of going to the same 10, 15 haunted locations? I mean, does someone not get bored of going to the same office building every single day? You got to make the most of it, man. Got to make the most of it. Thank you guys for the primes. Cosmic and Jerk, thank you guys for the primes. Thank you. Come on, Ghosty. You can do it. What's up, Liam? How are you? You like messing with the lights? That's great for you. There we go. You got 1,200 hours. You have 1,200 hours in this game. Still loving it? Hell yeah. I can just get a hunting video. It's probably gonna... I'll wait for his return. Copyright strike incoming. Da 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 da. Oh. Oh, hey. Oh. whatever you're feeling.
all right. Rocket Man. Here alone.
That's just nailed it. Perfection.
Bags last night, free flight. 0 hour, 90 here. And I'm gonna be high as a cat bathroom.
Oh my god.
Everything
I
just
felt like I was
descends into
there.
Creed.
It does, doesn't it? Just got the badges. Nice. A-E-I-O-U. What?
Although I'm inclined to think it's more like Pearl Jam was pre.
Pearl Jam?
my opinion.
Oh man, yeah. I was never like huge into Pearl Jam. I don't know. It was just never really my thing.
Well, was it because it was like because Dave Matthews Band? For
I never. Let me be
when it
very honest
first
with you.
came out-
Can I be very honest with you?
Yeah. Be very honest with me.
Okay, so Dave Matthews, musically, they are wonderful. I really don't like his voice. I really don't like it at all. I can't stand it. I would, my wife, whenever she would play Dave Matthews, I would just, you're lost on there. I can't do it.
Nailed it.
I can't do it, man. I don't like it at all. It's not for me. Hi, Caramba.
Jack and Jill, you came tumbling after.
No, that
Oh,
I'll
wait,
tell
is this
you.
actually a hiding spot?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Oh, wow, the ghost just shut the power off. Because it flipped
It
the
doesn't like Dave Matthews.
It hates Dave. I'll get the power. Crap on a sandwich. I forgot what I was gonna say. It's gone. I had a thought and it's gone. Yeah, we're playing Nightmare. It's a Dio. Wait, do we have crucifixes over there?
Let me see. Wouldn't they be in the back room over here?
The back rooms? Damn it. We were talking about Creed and all that shit. I totally... Oh, I placed...
There's a crucifix back here, bud.
Oh, we probably want to remove that there, bud. Take it for a walkie? Yeah. What is our cursed possession, by the way? If to lower our sanity, maybe? The ghost is... I might go find the cursed, because Ghosty is probably going to take a little bit. Yeah, we were talking about Pearl Jam and Dave Matthews. I'm trying... Shit. I had a train of thought, and it's gone.
Don't cut my lifeline. Don't bite the mailman.
I just don't like it. I just don't like it. It's not for me.
I found his weakness.
Dave Matthews?
It's not a Dio. His weakness is not a Raiju. It's Dave Matthews.
All right. Ay, caramba. I never see a streamer that actually responds to normal messages and not cheer messages. Like, what kind of streamers do you normally go to? There's millions of people that respond to messages. It might be cards. Oh, Lilith. I didn't check to see if Spider was there. Oh, we've got cats. Did you see the bone?
On my way.
No, I'll bring him downstairs so we can actually see what the hell we're doing. Oh, the boner. Nice job.
You're on your way.
I'm on me way. Got the cool cat. Hell yeah. You're welcome, friend. Of course. On me way. Okay. Let's do them like over here just in case we see the door shut. Then we know the ghost is home.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready. You want to do the honors, sir?
I love honors. Wheel of Fortune. Yeller.
Wheel of Fortune. That was green.
That was yellow.
There is
Am I
no
wearing
Wheel
a
of
green
Fortune.
jacket?
There's no Wheel of Fortune yellow.
It was yellow. It was yellow. It was yellow. Just let me
I
have
watched
this
it.
one. It was yellow.
Okay, it was yellow.
Let me have it.
Tower
Oh.
card. Red.
And shot.
I've been shot. Yeah, slow down.
Here we go. Death. Green.
Here comes
it's
our
fast.
little bucko.
Oh, it's fast. Ah!
There we go. Got
Ah!
it. Look out, dog. It's gonna get you.
Ah! Oh, look
Dog,
at the camera.
careful.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
Careful. It's gonna get you.
Ah! It's like Austin Powers with the steamroller.
Get out of the move. No. Here, it can't see me. It doesn't know it's up. Stupid. Throwing artifacts at it. Indiana Jones would be pissed. Yeah, that's right. You better march on, you little idiot.
You look like Mega Man for a second there, the way you were carrying that.
Doc, look out! So, I can explain what just happened. I was curious if that would happen. The ghost was still locked on to me. Oh, look, another free sponge. The ghost was still locked on to me, and it charged through him to get to me. I know what Doc is missing. I know what he wants. Come on, Doc. Come on, Doc. I'm bringing you back. Come on. Come on, Doc. Come on. Shit. All right. Well, my sanity's back, sir. That's not helpful. Come on. Okay. Hermit card. No. Not good. Here we go. High Priestess and... Wheel of Fortune red. Oh, there's another card. Wow, dude. Real mature. Another Wheel of Fortune red. And that's it. Well, that's fun. No revives today. You know what, Doc? I'm gonna, oh, well, no. My sanity's probably way too high for us to go any further here. You did a really good job. I'll be right back, though. Did we have a photo camera inside? I don't think we ever did. Oh, we did. Oh, let's go. Hey, it's a dead body. I wonder if he can see what I can see. Like, I wonder if that's what he can see. I wish I could turn the flash off. Hold on. Would that be helpful? What if I turn all the lights off? Here, what if I do this? And I do this. Oh, some flowers. That's better. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, it looks like a photo you send to your girl. Like you're like, I'm on the way. Look what I got for you. Oh my God. It's so beautiful. This could use some work though. All right, I'm out of here. All right, Doc. That's such a great photo. Oh my God. I wish that they implemented a way for you to save your photos in high res. There's technically a way on PC where you can save your photos that you've taken, but they're really low res images. They're not good. Unless it's gotten better, which maybe it has. I'd have to check. I don't remember where in the folder it is you can see your images that you've recently taken. I might have to go deep dive in. I might have to go searching. I want to find this image. Kill my teammate. We should leave. All right, Doc. Miss you. That's Dio. Josie, say bye to Doc. Oh. Petition. I wish that we had a photo album that we could save images inside of the lobby. Yeah.
Welcome back.
I know I could screenshot it before I leave.
All
but
right,
that's not the
now-
point. Go
I
ahead.
call goins to your Shinoina.
Go, okay, you can point to Shinoina all you want.
It sped up to kill me. It sped up, and chat seems to think because it was chasing you, but they're not. They're not supposed to.
So
Go ahead.
my understanding of what probably happened there was that the Dio was locked onto me, and then I sprinted down the stairs, and it was still locked onto me, and you were just standing there. So the ghost said, "Get the f out of my way. I want that guy," and it murdered you.
It's supposed to do that. Whatever. But
Whatever, dude.
all
Whatever.
was not lost. All was not lost because we captured a moment.
We did.
In
We
the
did.
magic of
Hey,
pictures.
Give me a second, okay?
Okay.
Hold, please.
I'll give you a second.
All right, thank you.
Holding.
Or many 1 seconds. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Give me a second. I want to see if I can find. Why do you stop? If I go here, if I go here. I'm trying to find it really quickly. Steam apps. If I go to my common folder, we have Phasmo living right there. And
Got
then
$19,000. That's fine.
I think it's right here. Hold on. I think I found it. You large icons. There it is. See, the photo it saves is crap. Yeah, see? The image that it saves. Yeah, the image that the game saves from your last taken images is really crap compared to what you see in the game.
Is it? Oh, that's a bummer. Because it was beautiful. It was who's the person who takes takes pictures of flowers made of babies or whatever it is, or pictures of flowers and babies? Am I crazy? Do we know what? Am I just making this up? Is this a fever dream?
People are saying a name in chat. I was a little
What's the
confused
name?
as to what the hell you're talking about. Anne?
Get us.
Yeah, I think that's the
Geddes.
name. Yeah. Scared and
See?
concerned. I didn't know what he meant.
You gotta be cultured to know about your photographers to take pictures of babies.
It is, but like I said, the image that you just saw, like, look at the quality here compared to what we saw in the journal. Oh my God. The image that we saw in the journal was so nice. And then you come out of here. Oh my God. And then you come out of here and it looks like this. And it looks like Duke. I wish
This is a good one right here.
I wish that we could
I got a
save
good
the
one.
images though. Like, at a high quality, not the quality they're saved at now. And I wish that, like,
these are not the greatest.
hello, daughter. What's up?
I think it would make a good desktop background.
Love you, babe. No, I wish that, like, you could go over here to, like, the board or something. I don't know. And, like, there's a little save button so you could save the image to your desktop easily.
Yeah,
Hey,
kind of like
Tinkerbell.
what was the game where you could save the videos?
Oh,
what was
content
that
warning.
called? Yeah.
Yeah, you could
played
save
that one in a while.
oh man, that was we should revisit that sometime.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're at work. Oh my God. Thank you guys for the follows, friends. Welcome in. Okay. You chose Bleezy Street, right?
What's that? Say that again. I'm sorry.
You chose Bleezy's.
I did. That's where we were when the Dio killed me because it was trying to kill you in an event of Shinoinagoinks.
Shinoinagoinks, that's right. I forgot about all the Shinoinagoinks.
Shinoinagoinks.
You know it goes well with a Shinoinagoink.
What goes well with a Shinoinagoin?
Lady Dark, hello. Good to see you. What's up, Jay?
All right.
That goes well with a Shinoinagoink.
Equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation.
Get on it.
I hope
I was
that helps.
banking on the Brit.
No. They got to be unexpected. No blood moons. No.
Understand.
You should see what I see. Wait, what does that mean?
All right, here we go.
And cheese? Ooh.
Base 1059, Richard Roberts, also known as
Yeah, go ahead.
Richie.
That's
After two unique paranormal... After two unique paranormal sounds with a sound recorder, detect a paranormal sound with a parabolic microphone and capture a photo of the ghost.
Dick Bob. All right, here we go.
Wow.
Those are nicknames
Richie
for those
Bob.
names. What do you mean?
Richie Bob.
Sound. You know what? Nope. Sound recorder, parabolic, and a photo. Okay. So sound recorder, parabolic, and a photo. Sounds good to me. Let's go. Let's go. It's been a long time since we played content. Oh, hi, Norm. We haven't played content warning in a long time.
Power side, it's in the garage, and I heard something go.
Did you say you heard something go?
No, just.
Oh, no. What you heard was the iron. Whenever you turn the power on. Yeah. I
It
don't.
does
When you.
that every time you turn
Yes.
the power on?
Yep. I don't know why.
Wow.
I don't know why. No blood
Well, I
moons
mean,
yet.
I guess
What's
that's
up, Morgan?
accurate if someone left the stuff on.
I guess. Just grams this. Ghosty. Okay, we have hiding there just in case. Oh, I thought I saw the lights on in there. Ghost. I heard that. Where was that? Oh, it's right here. I have played Ghost Watchers. I have indeed. It's not a mare.
Not a mare, you say?
It-
I think
it-
it's in the hallway.
The whole Wii. Turn on the light switch.
Yes, it's in the hallway.
The whole Wii. I'm a noob. Can you teach? If you just watch, hang out, ask questions. Easiest way, friend. Ghost thinks it's funny. It's preemptively laughing. Here, let me give it the conch. Here, we'll give it the conch shell. And we'll go out here and get Norm. Hey, Norm. I'm your friend. I don't even know where that was. I just saw I was able to take a photo. Norm, there you go, bucko. Have fun. You hooker. No. Oh. Rude. Oh, I could have recorded that too. Dang it. Yeah. Okay. What's up, Finish? How are you? The mayor can't. No, the mayor can't turn on a light switch. Yeah. Best non-official hiding spots in Tangle. One of the best ones is right here. It's gonna be the ghosty could still possibly see you here. This is one of the good ones. But inside of Nancy's room, in the back left corner, is one of the best spots. For sure. Come on, ghosty, you can do it. Have I? Thing doesn't want to talk. Can you be offline and still get Tamadeo? What? Do I want to know something? No, thank you. My favorite map is Willow. That's a good question. This is stupid. Why am I not getting a single parabolic? I think they're asking me to still get the badge watching the VOD. No, it has to be live. Nope. Gotta be live. Dudeskis.
Roger.
No, Flash.
Roger.
2000% of shade. Nailed it. First try. Some Dave Matthews, perhaps? You have to be online in Phasmo to get the badge while looking at the live. You don't even have to own Phasmo to get the drop. But you have to obviously connect it in game. Yeah, if you do X-Space Point drops, it gives you all the info. We did play Nels. We played Nels earlier.
Doing it phonetically. I dropped the painting on my face.
Go to the media. What am I doing? Okay. What did you say?
We have UV.
Oh. Oh. Well, roger that.
See, again, I thought you were doing Sandstorm again.
No.
It's Elvis. A little less conversation, a little more action, please. All this aggravation ain't satisfaction me. Satisfy me. Satisfy me, baby.
I wouldn't say that to the ghost.
Come on, baby, I'm tired talking. Grab your coat and let's start walking. Whoa! Hey ho ho hey!
Hey, hey-o!
This ghost is like running.
What did it just throw at you?
An umbrella! It's the umbrella! That's why I said umbrella!
Oh man, I thought it was something way larger than that. Hi, Mr. Song. You were lying. It's not a shade.
No,
okay.
it's just the umbrella.
Nailed it. It's a Goryo. Yeah, we saw the dots in person. It's not a Goryo either.
Hey-ho!
Doing great though. You're doing a great job. Great job. I'd hire you in a second.
We know it's not a Goryo, right?
That is correct, sir. Because we saw them dootskis in person. You won't dot again. You won't do it. You won't do it. Actually, I'm gonna go get a smudge. Give me the smudge. There we go.
You gotta get a camera there, bruh.
We have a camera in there, bruh. You can bring another one, though. For sure.
Maybe I'll bring two.
All right, you won't do it. Pierre Escargot.
Walk through the dots, or I curse thee as a coward. Wait.
Wow.
Should I take a picture of this EMF reading?
No, because we already have that. It would tell you if you could take
Okay.
if you could get a new photo, because you'd see the outline.
Wait, but I got the outline for EMF reading.
Oh, what? Oh, there's a duplicate. No, we already got it. Maybe it's different. Maybe, but maybe you see it new because it's another player getting it. Maybe that's what it means.
Maybe. Maybe.
There's still a. Oh, gross! Don't. No, that's not what we said.
What the heck was that?
A stuffed animal inside of the frickin' kid's bedroom.
Okay.
Disgusting. Son of a biscuit-loving bulldog.
Oh, take a picture of it?
I think we already. God damn it! We already have that image. Look at your journal.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Look at your journal.
Oh, EMF. Should I take a picture of it?
No, stop it. Oh, hey, should I take a picture of it? I think we have new 0 videos though. I heard that. Wait, was that this?
I just want to take a picture of the ghost. Where you at?
Where you at, bruh? Hey, bro, what you doing, bruh?
Will you listen to the language that I'm ruining, bruh?
All right, I do have a smudge. At the ready. Oh. We're falling apart. We're absolutely falling apart. Oh, that's the first time we've heard that giggle. It's pretty awful. It's loud. It's atrocious.
Ew!
What did Norm say?
Gnome sweet no. Ah!
Nice shot. You got it.
Let's go. It disappeared.
No sweet. Ah! All right.
I'll have you know my photograph was unique.
Oh, unique New York. Oh, man. EMF footprint.
Arsonist has webbed feet. The Human Torch was
Denied a bank loan. Oh, 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 oh. Does the doll in the girls' room actually do anything? It moves. Yeah, it literally moves. All right, so we know that you're gonna try to murder us now. Oh, hey, the bone and... Get smudged. Get smudged. Piece of shit. Get smudged. Okay. Pick up the bone. We've got a monkey paw. That's nice. No hiding. Beautiful. Great. We need 4 videos and an audio. Oh, that was the ghost? Oh, I had no idea. I was also told that I have an EMF detector in the truck earlier. These little packets of news are really helping me. Oh, just letting me know that's the ghost. Oh, okay, thank you. Your name is Green. That's disgusting. Okay, this would work if it wants to do the thing. Are you sure? I wasn't sure until they told me.
Wait, why is this shell here?
It's the magical conch.
What does it do?
Magical conch things.
All right, hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna make a sound with this magical conch, but I'm gonna need your help. Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
I really needed the borat sound there, but all right.
Really could have used a buoyant there.
All right.
Buoyant! All right, so we got light switch. There's a bunch of stuff we can... Did we have UV, right? Not you. Not you. It's a Banshee or a Phantom? Oh, that's a Phantom. Right. That was not very visible. Wow, dude, just gonna fart ball like that? All right. Come on, gosh dang it.
Why are we still here?
We have videos to get.
I mean, being alive is fun.
Is it though? The ghost rounded the corner and the video didn't grab. We're good.
Hey, good luck with those videos. Bye.
Thank you. What? Dude. Nah, I didn't like a Banshee. What was that? What? You sick bitch. Record!
Let me in! Tripod! Tripod! Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Was that in there? No. Got whatever that was. Okay. It is broken. You have to like pick up the camera 15 times to make it work. It's been that way for sure. I don't even know if I have that or not. Do you hear it still venting?
What?
We need one more video, sir. He smudged it. How much to upgrade? I don't know. You'd have to go into the game. I don't memorize like how much the upgrades are. I have no idea. Thank y'all for the follows. Golden Man, thank you for the sub, by the way, friend. Thank you. 3 seconds too late. Sure. Whatever you say, bucko. Okay. Where's the ghost hanging out?
Deuces. I'm out.
All right, miss you.
Yep.
Look. I swear to God, I hate you. I hate every ounce of your being. Got it. Holy balls. No, it's not about the night vision. No, it's just being finicky sometimes.
I honestly thought you were booking me because I'm looking in the camera at the front door now. I thought you were booking me. Wait, turn around. Turn around. There you
Which
go.
one? Oh, this one?
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
Check the other one. Got him. How can you give drops as a streamer? You just have drops on, you're in the category of whatever it is. So like Phasmo, it automatically happens as long as you have drops enabled.
Well played. Well played.
That's perfect game, sir. It was well fought victory. Well fought.
Well fought. I like to
I like to fight with Dave Matthews. No. It should be automatically enabled. Yep. If you're having any issues, if you just Google Twitch drops, how to, it'll tell you what to do. All right. Perfect games. Nice. How many more do you have, sir?
Oh. I think I got like uno mas, and then I should probably get going. What's your schedule like?
I'm good for a bit.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Why are we doing this thing right now? Why are we
I don't know. I'm just checking.
the moves?
Just making sure. Just making sure that it all works okay.
WASD,
Yeah.
WASD, WASD.
No, you weren't lying the whole time. You were wrong the whole time. See, there's a difference,
WASD.
a vast difference between lying and being wrong.
Who
And the
picked that house?
step number one is admitting you were wrong.
Was it you? Did I
Whatever.
pick that house?
I did. This is your choice.
Ah, okay. Well, in
rather
that
be wrong
case,
than
I
lying.
choose. I choose.
Game on.
Price on. Game on in the price on.
What?
Wait, what?
Hey, Chaotic. The ghosts are good. Ghosties have been good today. Not too bad.
Starting the investigation. Got the intel. Looks like this is going to be a tough one. We've had reports of violence, and it looks like they left in a hurry.
It looks like they left in a hurry.
Listen, he's trying his best, okay? Don't yell at him. Hey, Rose, I'm good. How are
Okay.
you?
He sucks. Case 1060, Andrew Jones, also known as Andy Joe. The man goes running with a crucifix. Every member of your team escaped because during a hunt capture unique photos with a photo camera.
Noted.
Go. Let's
Okay.
go.
Roger that. Playing some Tears of the Kingdom. Nice. What are they saying?
They want a blood moon. I don't want a blood moon. They want.
I thought we would at least get one today. I'm kind of shocked we didn't.
Well, shame. This is the last game.
Oh, man. Shucks.
Yeah. Shame. Shucks.
I believe it is upstairs outside of the warden's office.
by the warden's office?
I think the ghost is right outside the warden's office.
How can you possibly know that already, Flash?
There's a mirror that shows where the ghost is.
Right.
I think that's what I saw. I think we saw this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I should check for power, actually. Yeah. Steer, thank you for the 11 months. Thank you for the sub, man. And the power's here? Oh, my Lanta. Juice is on, sir.
Hey.
Pretty sure it's in there.
All right. Okay.
I believe in you. See your trophy after this? Yeah. Yeah. Possible front runners today? No, there's definitely not enough time for funnel runners. Not today. We did change our the monthly goal though. So if we do reach the monthly goal, then I'm going to be playing funnel runners, probably with friends, but dressed as a cow with a cowbell. Thanks to Blondie. There we go. There we go. Drop one of those, drop one of these, drop one of those, drop one of these. There we go. There we go. Of course. You're welcome. That's a wall. Be waiting for it? Ah, gotta get there first. Give me a thank you for the follow. Welcome in HSV. Hello. So Ghosty, we do have a camera over there. We just didn't see anything to begin with. It was where are we at? What the hell? What? Oh, it's so dark. Oh, I couldn't even see it. Hold on. Right there. Okay, I'm gonna get dots, book, spirit box. Also, just in case, I'm taking one of these. You should cause a hunt with the mirror? No. Hey, how are you?
You know, I can't lie. There's part of me that wishes that the ghost hunted while the mirror was still unbroken. So you could hold the mirror up in front of you and watch it hunting you, like as you're running away from over your shoulder.
Well, technically, well, no, that's a good point. I guess you could look into it and then have it hunt, but then you would be looking down. Yeah. I know what you mean, though.
Yeah. No, I think that would be pretty awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
Again, kind of like content warning.
Yeah, I got you. You'd have to up your sanity? Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to keep your sanity. It would be tricky to try to get that to happen. I've seen it start hunting like that. But it's a tricky one. All right, since the juice is on, we might as well have some lights in this piece. Is the next time I'm doing Guess the Ghost? Probably soon. Yeah, if I'm able to do it this week, we'll probably do it this week. It's been a while. I do it once a month. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? Are you here? Are you close? We have freezing temps. Blondie's the real MVP. Ay. Well, the onesie is over there with the cowbell. It is just going to wait so patiently. All right, freezing temps. That's all we have so far. I'm gonna go back to the truck. Don hit the old dusty trail. Good day, Mr. 420. See you later, friend. My son's got a basketball game today, so I've got to get prepped for that after stream. Can I get here the animated one? Yep. Any kinetic partner you watch, you get the animated badge as long as the static badge, as well as the static badge at the same time. Yep. Yep. And it looks like that. You have until the 28th to do so. Watching for book movement or possible dude skis. I was wondering how come you do guess the ghost once a month, even though it's requested so much. Is it because you don't want it to go stale? That's part of the reason. But also, just because people are requesting something a lot doesn't mean you should just do it. I think what makes it exciting and fun is that we don't do it all the time. If it's like everyone requests viewer games all the time, if I did viewer games every day, that would kind of suck. So it's nice to space those things out and only do them intermittently. So that way it's more exciting when we do it. And not to mention on the Guess the Ghost one, I give away merch. I give away a sticker and stuff like that. I can't be doing that every day. So yeah. All right, nothing. I'm going back in. Give me a smudge. Give me this. He's got a UV in there, and we'll bring one of these. Why am I using the tier 1 sound recorder? Oh, the sound sensor? I just haven't upgraded them. That's all. Hey, the ghost turn off the power there, bud?
Give it a little look there, bud.
Give me one map and I'll try my hardest to do solo perfect run. High school. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Power's back on.
You're a legend. Aw, well, why'd you ask me then?
I had to go into the warden's orifice to turn it back.
You went to the
Right there.
you went
Hi.
to the warden's what?
Orifice. The warden's orifice.
The warden's orifice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that explains why it was so fast. It's probably hunting? Yeah, it probably is. You love Doc? He's funny. He should have his own channel. Like, did somebody spike my coffee today? Would you stop hunting? Thank you for the follows. Hello. Oh, Doc wanted his own hug. Oh, yeah, that's probably true. He's titled Doc Can't Keep Himself Alive. Oh no, he fell. Oh Jesus, dude. Doc, miss you. Hey Flash, you know the light switches turn the lights on? Listen, there's no need for all of that witchcraft. It definitely doesn't look like it was fun. It looks like he's hurting a little bit, but there's not really much else we can get from that. Yeah, it's a Revy. Is Revenantes. We saw no orbs, so that would take the mimic out of the equation. Doc wanted to go to prison. And I can't do anything to save him because it's just the mirror. Gosh, dang it. Ay, caramba. Ay, caramba. Air connecting to... What the hell, Nightbot? Are you okay? Cursed objects aren't in Doc's favor. Not exactly. Not today. Doc's not dead. He's doing a 24-hour overnight challenge. Ah. That makes way more sense now. Much more sense. All right, Mr. Doc, it's a Revenante. I'm sorry you're dead and all, but I did tell you not to play the piano that one time. See, it eventually came back to get him. All right. There we go. Revenante. Revenante. Did I miss anything? No, no. Just the past 3 hours.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
All right. I kind of want to do just one more quick one.
Okay,
One more quick one.
Okay.
Because that sucked. Yeah.
That was really fast. That was real quick.
Yeah.
All right, you choose. You choose then. Which
All
small
right,
map would you want to go to? You want to go to Willers?
Small.
Small?
Yeah, we'll go Willers.
Okay. I like it. Doing
High
things.
school is not a small map.
Motherfuck. Can't end on, well, just not end on prison. That's the biggest thing.
Look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation.
No blood moon. Nope. Even with
Oh my god.
even with an extra map, we still didn't get blood moon. Yeah. I guess to the
Why don't
falls.
you use your judgment and not interrupt me while I'm trying to talk?
What if he responded? Wow.
Okay, well, and that you.
Wow.
Thanks
How about
for
after you guys? Huh?
61. Anything else, Brent, with the most sense of getting average on top of 25%. You're ready to go running with the crucifix cornerback.
All right, cool.
Alright, give me a flashlight. Wait, actually, I might not give you a flashlight.
A me light. It's a me.
It's a me light. Sorry, the me light. It's a me light. Give me this, give me this, give me this, give me that, give me this. I'm not even going to bring salt because it's going to touch a door. And I'm going to check for UV. And then we're going to check for the spirit box because it's going to show exactly where it is immediately. Doc's funny. He's a pretty funny guy. He's definitely got lots of humor. Lots of humor. UV. Where are you?
It is dooring like crazy.
Are you here? Where are you?
Oh, I'm literally
near?
in front of you.
Where are you? Are you here?
Right here.
Are you near?
Yes.
Are you close? Where are you? Are you here?
Right here.
Are you close?
Yep.
Are you near?
Very close.
Are you friendly?
Yes.
Are you old?
I told you. No.
No. All right, I'll prep the switch. All right, more stuff. We have EV though.
Hey, you
Told
eat
you.
pieces of crap for breakfast? No.
No.
Oh, we have UV, by the way.
I hate you.
Why?
I said we had UV already.
I was verifying.
There was no verifications happening. You were just trying to
I
one-up me.
actually thought you were the ghost for a second. I heard.
Oh. Wait.
Dang it, Bobby.
Oh my god, I still haven't turned the power on. Alright, let's go downstairs and turn the power on. Gosh dang it. Flash just hires ghosts at this point? No. You eat pieces of crap for breakfast? Power's on, by the way. Hello again.
Right.
But yes, why? Yes, a little bit. Yes, ma'am. If you wanted to know, why are you relaying that information to somebody else? It's not like they... Little misses. Little misses. I hear scribbles. Hey, hey, that could be a demon. Oh, hey. How was her show? Her show? Wait, what show? I'm gonna bring this. I'm gonna bring this. I'm gonna bring this. Because if it's a demon, I don't want to die. Ad break coming up, friends. Good at canceling background noise. Yeah, I've got a little bit of, I've got a small filter on it as well. Oh, you and the ghosty just having a good time, man. Oh, you're doing so good.
Yeah.
Here, wait, hold on. Can you?
It's almost effortless. Oh, crap.
Go on.
Oh, wait, can I?
That didn't work. I hate it here, dude. Hold on. I was gonna get you to do something.
Oh, okay.
So get on the treadmill. Get on the treadmill.
Okay.
And then just
And
walk
just
forward.
Walk forward.
Oh, it doesn't even show it. Oh, well, that's a bummer. Up, you're like scooting real fast. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. I'll drop everything.
Okay.
Okay.
No, your body's
How
not.
about now?
Your body's not moving. No, look, I'll show you.
Come on.
This is what it looks like. Hold on.
Oh, wait a minute. No, your feet are going super fast. Look at your feet. Look at your feet.
I know. Like go back and forth. like how fast it is.
Oh!
Oh, look, another free smudge. What the hell was that? What kind of pathing was that? Doc, look out! Ole, 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 ole. You know what? I know what he wants. You should probably cool off. I thought you said your missus went to a show in New York or something. She did. Oh, I thought you were talking about short stuff. Oh no, it was wonderful. She said it was so good. Yeah, she went to go see Just in Time. All right. What do we think it is? Do we think it's a demon, a myelin, or a polty? I could try to get it to hunt one more time. Ole, ole. Got to show me the trophies. Okay, well, I'm not gonna remember stuff like that. I'll show you when I go back out. What up, KT? Do we know what the cursed object is, by the way? I don't think we do. No monkey ball. Oh, I didn't check to see if the mirror, I mean I didn't check to see if the music box was there. Shower's loud. Didn't see the box. Because it's the cards. That shower's loud from here. Damn, zero soundproofing in this basement. Doc does not have a death counter on his screen. Oh my god. It's going so well. was a full car. Who left you? You jerk. Ghost far inbound? Okay. Not the ghost, by the way. Not the ghost again. It's still upstairs. Good deal. And that's it. Tarot cards have been absolute poop. Absolute dookie. I can kind of see through the bin. Got back into Fast shortly after the Alan Wake event after years not playing. Lots of shorts on YouTube for you. I've enjoyed the informative content. Helped me learn the game after all the changes that they made. That's awesome, Chaos. The changes they made, especially recently, have been really, really good. Why did the farmer name his horse Mayo? Because mayonnaise. Halogen? I swear to God. The ghost is not gonna like it. Alright. I'm not even 100%, but Doc is dead, and there's no point in keeping him dead. It's been years? Oh, man. Both the anime badge and the normal badge with the drops. That's correct. You have until the 28th. So, 2 days. 2 days. It almost sounds too loud. It almost sounds too loud to be a Myling. So if you have a demon in a Polty, I mean, is it just a crappy demon? It didn't sound like it was throwing a lot. I'm just going to go demon, Doc, just so we can get the hell out of here. I'm not even 100%. Not even sure. Ay. I also don't think enough was thrown, but I'm not even 100% on that.
Welcome back.
I guess it wasn't Myling. Sure. I could have tested it, but he's dead. I'm not about to make him stay that way. Oh, man. Not in the shower again. You're talking. I can't hear you.
Listen, you gotta be squeaky clean when you leave this world.
That's why I turned the shower on.
That. Oh, I appreciate that. I mean, it wasn't to make fun of me or to do anything in jest. It was out of a genuine concern.
It was to cleanse the ghost hunter.
Wow, thanks.
You're welcome. I don't want you to go to the afterworld all stinky.
Well, I don't want you to think I'm being ungrateful, but at the same time, if you had saved my life so I was alive,
you had a smudge at your toesies. What do you mean?
I didn't have a lighter at the time.
Oh, that explains it.
Yeah.
Well, never mind then.
I said
Sunrise alone.
Okay, go ahead. Make fun of me. I didn't have a lighter. Oh, you didn't have a lighter.
Oh, the idiot didn't have a lighter again.
Doc, come here. Listen.
You suck. You're
Doc,
terrible. You're awful.
no, Doc, come here. Listen. Come here. Get closer.
Oh my God. You have
Come
those
here.
terrifying
It's okay.
all black eyes.
It's okay.
It's not okay.
Get closer. Get closer. Now keep looking forward.
If you book me right now, I swear.
No, turn around.
You're going to book me.
Turn around.
I know you're going to book me.
You see these? These are lighters. Those are matches. You writing that in your journal?
Dear Journal, today Flash showed me what a lighter is. I think in future hunts I might bring one along with me. All right. Thanks, Journal. Bye.
I like that you thank your journal. Thanks, Journal.
You gotta have some gratitude in this world.
Thanks for listening. You got it, bucko.
Hey. Speaking of gratitude, Flash, thank you for the games.
Of course. Thank you, Mr. Doc.
You're a champion.
No,
do you intend to continue for a while?
I do continue to continue for a short while, yes.
You do continue to continue. Well,
yes.
All right, then. I wish you the best of luck in your
Thank you,
ghost
sir.
hunt, sir.
I appreciate it.
And,
Thank you for the games.
if I can offer you some prime advice that will assist you in the future.
Yes, please. All right. Well, you heard the man. That's what we do. Words do be hard, though. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I've got some jobs ready.
Yeah. Is there a glacius? Oh my God. His advice is always the best. It's always good. So someone was asking about the trophies. I'll show the trophies real fast. Yeah. So here you go. There's those. There's those. There's those. There's those. There you go. Ow. Ow. Yeah, his advice. Zero, what's up? How are you? Glacius, how are you, sir? We don't have ads for like 50 minutes, so we're good there. 3 skull cases now? Yeah. Yeah, it's been that way. It's been this way for a while now. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What's up, Crow? How's it going, dude? Next time, give him a tissue for his issue. Oh, my God. Yeah. Groovy. Oh, I wanted to show someone else this, by the way. Usually, so they're a little slow to the punch when it comes to updating this, but I usually try to remind people that if you're looking to see when the Twitch drops usually are, the last ones or the current ones, this will usually tell you when and what time. Mr. Doc, thank you for the games today, sir. Had a freaking blast. Thank you so much, and thank you for the raid, man. Had a great time, my friend. As always, the usual Sunday routine at this point. Oh no, my voodoo doll's falling apart. Wish we had gotten Alan Wake trophy. I don't know. I know. I like the unique event trophies, but I don't mind. I don't mind. Maverick, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome in. Let's see. Do that. Groovy. We're ready to rock. Nightmare, hello, how are you? Good to see you, friends. Hope you guys had fun with Mr. Doc. Oh my God, long time no see. Well, heller. Solos, yeah. Yeah, we'll move to solo now. I think so. Do I know what the quality of life update part 2? I mean, we know roughly what's going to be in it, but they haven't released the previews yet to show us more information on it that we can show you guys. I mean, we've talked about the different things like being able to choose what ghost you want to go against in customs, having restricted versions of like prison and high school and Point Hope, stuff like that. But we don't have the details yet for that update. Nope. Best thing you can do for info from Phaz is to follow them on socials and to be in their Discord. That is the fastest way you're going to get information. It's going to be faster than getting it from me. For sure. Misunderstood. Hello. How are you? Still have yet to get the Hangman card. It's been 2 years. If you're just worried about getting it, you could do a custom where you give yourself cards and then make sure you don't lose any items and just go pull cards until you get it. That's one little cheeky way of doing it. Or if you want to get it naturally, just wait until you get it. Yeah. Red Phoenix, thank you for the follow. Mama, welcome in. Frosty, hello. Is this the first drop for the Cool Cat badge? What do you mean the first drop? No. So there's an animated and a static. The animated and the static can be earned at the same time by watching a kinetic partner. Like here. So if you're watching my stream for 2 hours, you'll earn both. Yep. What is the fastest way to level up in Prestige? By playing the highest possible difficulty that you can as fast as you possibly can. Yep. We talk about that often. If you're trying to learn how to play the game, don't do that because you're not going to learn. Or it's going to take you a long time to learn playing that way. Play naturally, you'll get better. The better you get at the game, the faster you're going to get. Trying to stress about getting the most XP and money in a game that has no competitive nature to it is not necessary. Not needed. All right. Let's do another Willer Streets. Let's do it. See ya, Dinosaur. How we going, man? As I say, if I get a blood moon immediately after separating from Mr. Doc, I swear to God. No blood moon. See you, David. Have a good one. All right. Ellen Cordero. We need 3 photos, witness a ghost event, and a sound recorder. The chat is on the right of my screen. Randomly, I can't see much. Does anyone know how to put it away? I can only assume that you're looking on your phone. You need to tap on your phone screen so you can see the option to put the chat away. Yeah. Let's do this, do this, and go. Yo. Yo. Good talk. All right, Ghosty. What do we got? Damn it. Oh, the mirror. I'll take it. You're welcome, Cayenne, of course. Yeah, I thought I saw that. It's in here. Ghost fart. Why can't I turn this on? There we go. Oh, shit. I should probably go. I'm now at like 70 sanity. I dropped 20 because of the mirror and the ghost just fart balled on us. So we know that it can't be an Oni. Can't be a Kormos. They can't do that. And I'm at 70 sanity. I could always just let it be, but nah, just in case. Just in case. Okay. You there, you there, you there. I might even take another one if I can. The Kormos can't do that event. No. Because it follows the player, and if the Kormos can't see, it wouldn't make sense for the Kormos to do an event that follows the player. You love fart balls? Oh, well, you know. To each is their own, I guess. We all have our kinks. Any herbs? That there, and then we'll go turn the power on. With the Ouija board, can the Kormos use it, or will the be scrambled since it's blind? I don't think it's that deep. If you have the Kormos, it'll still answer on the Ouija board. Yeah, we'll shut down. More stuff. More stuff. Yeah. So Kormos, Oni, both can't do that event. Give me this. Give me this. Give me this. Let's check the video camera. No writing yet. No dots yet. We might not get it at all, but I guess we'll see. Caesar, welcome in. What's up, Robbie? Paradox, hello, friends. Thank you for the follows. Hey. Oh, well, there's no writing anymore. Potentially a dumb question. I'm using my phone and I can't Twitch Prime sub. I never use my phone app. Did they get rid of the Prime sub, or is this impossible? On the app, it might not be giving you the option. You might have to do it from your browser. Yeah, I don't know if on the app they actually even give you the option for it, which is kind of silly. Okay, well, it's not going to provide us writing, but we're going to try to get more stuff. Okay. My messages are worth anything without being deleted. I don't know what the hell that sentence is supposed to mean. Okay, let's see. All right, you were warned to stop complaining because you were getting timed out talking about complaining about the quality of life update, which there's nothing wrong with having an issue, but if you continue complaining, I'm sure that's probably annoying. Am I missing something? That over there. With salt. Oh, immediately. And we have ultraviolet. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? Are you here? Might be freezing. What up, Zoe? What's up, Jim? Good day to you. Good day to you. The fam is doing great. The kiddos are doing well. What is it hiding from us? Dead Scorpion. Thank you for the Prime sub, dude. Thank you. I'll be getting off here shortly and then going to hang with the kiddos before my son's basketball game. Bag of ball. Give me that, give me that. I've got one of everything in there. I don't know why we're not getting our second piece of evidence. What's up, Elena? How are you? I don't understand. Okay. Interesting. Ice, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. So, the only thing that we know is we have UV. That's it. 10 p.m. for you. It is 4 o'clock here. It just took a crap inside of the bathtub. Cute. Is it normal the game is scarier alone than in duos? Well, no. The reason it's scarier alone is because you don't have that extra person there. Dodged it. Let's go. That would have drained more sanity, but we dodged it. Where are you? Are you here? Freezing. Ultraviolet freezing. That's Demon, Hantu, Jinn, or a Mimic. We do not see any orbs. Would you shut up? Shut up. No orbicals. Probably not a Mimic. Which means it's either a Jinn, a Demon, or a Hantu. So I could just force a hunt and then see the speed that way. We will see. We shall see. There's a question that you never answered. What? Just had a Jinn on this map 10 minutes ago? Oh, I might have one right now. Yeah, the drop time does carry over. So it doesn't matter if you're watching one person for an hour and then you watch another person for an hour, you would still get it then. Yep, absolutely. I might just break the mirror and then see what happens. I like the map. Looks renovated. I do too. It looks really good. It looks great. Do people expect him to read every single message? I guess so. If I don't, apparently that's a sin that I was unaware of. You're playing the game and not sitting there reading every single message while you're in the middle of the game and you miss something every now and then, like a human, makes me just absolutely sick. Makes me want to puke. Man in the wide brim hat. Thank you for the gifted very purple. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna make it hunt. Just got the drop. Let's go. Just hunt, you booger. Gosh, how dare you? I know. I'm sorry. Just forgive me, okay? Just forgive me. That's all I ask. Can I stream for 2 more hours? No. No. But I can take you somewhere where you can continue earning the badge, though. Yeah, sorry. Got 3 kids. Dad, home alone. Can't do it. No, the ghost can't see you through this door. Absolutely not. Now, you probably want to have a smudge in your hand. Oh, you suck. Unacceptable. Oh my god, I have no idea. The second it saw me, it stopped hunting. What a butt. All right, we'll let it hunt again. Gosh dang it. Man. How much longer are you on for? Probably not much. Probably not much longer. No. Hang out with the kiddos before the game, and then we'll go to the game early, and then we'll be there for the rest of the night. But yeah, I'll be solo dadding for today and tomorrow as well. Where's my new favorite looping spot? I like hanging out here in the living room and like kind of tiptoeing back and forth like this. I like that for sure. IDK, welcome in. So it's going to hunt again. Once it hunts again, we'll see what happens. speeding up? Just a demon, yeah? Just an absolute crap demon? Wow. Wow. Tell your son some random guy on the internet said good luck. I will. I will. Hey, you know, some random guy on the internet said good luck on your game. I'm sure he would be appreciative. He knows. He knows. Is there someone I recommend to watch when my stream ends? Yeah, whoever we raid to. Because I'll be raiding into someone that has the drops as well, so you don't have to do anything. Yeah. It did not sprint. It sped up with line of sight. This is a demon. Awful crap demon. Ay. Hey. You suck. Also, I don't know. I still... Team needs to up their game. The demons I've had recently have just been really lame. No, Break is not a connected partner. No. They have drops, but they don't have the animated drops. Oh, this ghost sucks. Whatever, dude. Kiersey, hello, welcome in. Whatever. Ghost wants to be a weenie. I'm not playing that game. Not today. No. Absolutely not.
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
Absolute turds, dude. The demons have been so lame. Nice. No abilities. It didn't use its ability a single time. Hi, Crumba. Can the ghost follow you to the backyard, the farmhouse map while hunting? If you're talking about Bleasdale, yeah. It absolutely can. That outdoor area is a ghost room, so it can be out there. It can start out there. It can hunt from inside, take you out, whatever. Yeah, it absolutely can. Bionic hello. All right. Maybe we call that the last one for the day. I think that's going to be the idea. It's 4 o'clock. I'll have to help get him ready, get all the stuff in the things. Yeah. Me watching you play since Christmas has helped with Phas. Let's go. That's awesome. Yeah. Let's go find someone to say hi to, friends. I appreciate you guys being here today. Thank you. I'll be live again tomorrow. 98%. It'll still continue. I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand, is that if you're watching someone and earning a drop and then somebody raids into somebody that's also doing a drop, the time continues. So it's not like it resets or anything like that. The time literally continues on. So as long as you still have the stream open, it will raid into that person and the drops continue. So yeah, it doesn't have to be with a single person. Nope. It is collective. Thank you, Nocturne. Appreciate you. All right, let me go over here, mute this, do this, do that, do this. But yeah, thank you guys for all the follows today. I appreciate it. If you guys are not in the Discord already, you want to get updates about whenever I'm going live. If Twitch is being a butt, Discord is always where I ping to. Yep. How long am I going to keep streaming for? For probably roughly about 2 minutes. Yeah, I hope that helps. Thank you, Nolstrom. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yep. Let me take a look. No, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for the wishes for the kiddo and his basketballs. Just in time for work. Let's go. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Kai. Thank you, Alice. J-Mox. Thank you, Joel. Join back and it's ending. Well, yeah. I mean, typically I do end at 4 o'clock anyway. So that does add up. That does track. All right, let me stop there. Stop that. Let me look over here and let me see who we have. Let's give a gander. Man, the wide brim hat. Thank you. Thank you, friend. Thank you. Oh my God. Okay. Let's quit Phasmers and then let's go find one of our friends to say hi to. Then I got to work on dinner before the game. Shit.
Welcome back.
Yeah, that's probably the
Some
best.
jobs for you.
I don't know. I might grill. We'll see. Go back and watch the VOD. Just missed. Oh, no worries. You're good. All's well, friend. Let's see what we have. Oh, I see. Hold on. I see. Break is not a kinetic partner, JMox. Also, I like to choose my raids. No, I'm good. I always like to look myself. Gonna make for dinner? Probably burgers. That or like lasagna. I don't know. We have like a lot of red meat options that the kids have been wanting. So we got to be careful about that. But yeah, burgers, can't complain, man. Can't complain. Sound good right now? They sound good to me too. Grill some lasagna. Get the hell out of my chat. Get the hell out of here. Am I muted? I is. Okay, good deal. Lasagna burgers. Listen, is it like awful of me to think like that doesn't sound awful? Smoked lasagna? I don't have a smoker. I can't do that. I don't have that. That's too much. That's too much. I can't. Badge, how to get, stream, watch 2 hours. Yeah. When you asked earlier with the little message that came after that said how to get the drops, yeah, you got to make sure you're reading that stuff. Mac and cheeseburgers. Oh, shit. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. You have a grill. Improvised. Listen, I'm not that good yet. One of these days, Alice, I'll get there. I don't think I want a smoker. I don't think I want that responsibility. Need a smoke? They're amazing. Maybe at some point. We don't have a lot of space on our deck to have a smoker there, unless I put it like under, which is possible, I guess. I grate frozen unsalted butter into my patty and season them with salt, garlic powder, chili powder. Ooh. The butter idea is a pretty good idea. I do like that. Oh, hi, Mrs. Flash. What are you doing? We're literally about to end. What are you guys up to? You never guess what trouble we're getting into. No, you're definitely drinking somewhere. What's up, Lou? How are you? Question is where? That's the real question. It's 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. They have to be. Everybody quiet. She's here. Stone cold sober. It starts with a P. Are you getting a piercing? I don't believe you. Pal World. Fine. I'll go get one too. Fine. That's right. Belly button piercing. Incoming. You won't do it? No, I probably won't. Is it weird? Like the way that she typed that in, I thought like, it looked like it said iceberg. I'm like, oh, don't eat the lettuce. You know what's going to happen? Can eyebrow piercing? I've never had a piercing in my life. Never had one in my life. Yeah, I kind of want to keep that streak going. Yeah. Or for Blue Horseshoe in Virginia Beach. What's Blue Horseshoe? Pierce your nipples. Nobody would know except for you and all of us. And everybody seeing my shirt with seeing little bars going across. Good grief. That'd be awful. My God. Who's that behind you? There's nobody there. Yeah. There's nobody there. I'm an Italian from Jersey and taught myself while I was in the Marine Corps because I wasn't going to eat chow. Oh, I got you about making food, making it better at least. That's a good idea. Yeah. Fast tattoo. It needs, well, I have to. The music box. I know. It was a matter of just pulling the damn trigger and just getting it over with and just doing it. I say getting it over with because I will like having it. It'd be an interesting piercing. It would be a thing for sure. All right. I do know where we are going to raid to, by the way, friends. Yeah, I've got to get off here. I got to feed your child. I got to figure out which meal they wanted to do for tonight for dinner. List of things. Flash out. Yeah, I owe song raft. Oh, we need to do bull, bull, bull. Yeah. Oh, she didn't see. Wait, Mrs. Flash probably didn't see this though. So this is my sub goal for the month, honey. If we reach it, I have to dress up as a cow. I have to dress up as a cow and play that tornado game you saw. And it's a onesie. Oh yeah, it's a full-blown onesie. Full-blown onesie. And it came with a cowbell. He even has a little cowbell. Why? Because one of our friendos sent it to us. That's why. Tornado game, funnel runners. So I would wear that and play funnel runners. Is there a flap in the back? I haven't checked yet. Ribs. Yes, for the flap. We don't need a flap. No flap. All right. Let's get out of here. Wear that to break it in while cooking burgers. Oh my God. No, it's okay. I got to go too. Love you, honey. I'll talk to you soon. Yeah. I'm going to get off here and go look at the food thing. See if they want to eat early. We shall see. Kitty, thank you for the subs. Thank you for the gifted subs, friend. Thank you. You're a cool cat now. Did you just get your badge? Perfect timing. Wonderful timing. Granny and cow. The granny cow. Dude, it would be so hot to wear that thing out there grilling. Good Lord. See my neighbor in the back? Hey, Mike. No, thank you, Blue. Cutie kitty, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's 92 again here. I don't know what it is here. I don't know. I've been dormant inside. It's 83 here. I mean, look at that. And it's like, oh, that's warm. That's definitely not as hot as it's been. It's way better here. Yeah. It's 83 degrees here, which is way better. I've had such nice weather this week, only the 70s, and now it's climbing again. Sheesh. Yeah, it's bouncing back and forth over the next like week or two here between like 80, mid 80, go down to 70s, come back up to 80s. Yeah. 115 degree heat index tomorrow. Sounds awful. Eek. If it's that hot, stay inside, man. Do not go outside. Jesus. Jesus. All right. Thank you guys so much for the stream. I appreciate you. I will be live tomorrow night. Probably normal time. Like I might start a little bit earlier, but if I do, it'd be like 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. It wouldn't be that much earlier. Yeah. So it should be good. Am I too late? Oh yeah, we've been streaming for almost 4 hours. Gonna be in school for the next 4 days. Not sure if you have the AC. Wait, not sure if they have the AC running. Oh, yikes. Eek. No, thank you. All right. Let's get going. I know where we're going to raid. They've been live for a bit, but I'm sure that they'll keep going. I don't get a chance to raid them very often. So, friends, if you are a follower, the first message is yours. If you're a sub, the next message is yours. Creepy Tier 3s, they have their own. We're going to go raid Kim Cat. The drops are still going to be active. If you're earning your animated drop, you will still get to keep earning your animated drop. It will literally just continue from here into the next stream. Super, super easy. Super easy. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. But thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I think I'm going to be able to dodge having to drink that damn blue cheese, whatever soda. I think I'm going to dodge it for quite a long time because the odds of us hitting that specific thing is very low. We did 2 times spin the other day and I literally got merch giveaway on both. I think I'm safe. Devil, thank you so much for being here. I still think ranch will be worse. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be worse or not. I have never smelled that one. Never. Ever. Beans? Oh yeah, I need to order more beans for the kiddos. I need to order more. Yeah. All right, friends. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow for more fun and shenanigans. Bye.